Famble them on a good evening. Any side, usai una fen una safe na this world. I hope say una they do well. I hope say like when I saw the heat, they kill we small, but we are used to it. They said there is a time and season for everything. Today, as una see, the topic on discussion is Sierra Leone's labor migration, a road once traveled. This is a big talk because we know for say we don't get boku bebelebe problem with we labor migration issue. They want the way they come on a Salone, then go work in other country. Them not a skilled labor though. That is the thing, not a skilled labor in terms of what you say, sometimes na lawyer, na doctor, na engineer, na mechanic, na, or na teacher. Then why also, na waiting, they can call migrant labor, where mostly na their house boy, house girl, mostly caretaker type work. Where we know for say some of we brother and we sister them be done for dumpan and them we don't run into a lot of difficulties, them a lot of issues them. As we dey talk right now, we also know for say we get 22 of we Salone brother them we sit down inside the Guinea prison because they were assumed to be terrorists. They were assumed to be mercenaries, not terrorists, but mercenaries. Allegedly, coming from the Sierra Leone side. Purported to be boys of the current vice president. But the truth is that them boya so not get anything to do with politics. They not get anything to do with any of that. The only reason why they defend themselves na Guinea around the election term na because they try look for a greener pasture. And it just so happened for say they end up na Guinea at the time where Guinea been there on high alert during the election and they mistook them and take them for something where they not be, and now they don't sit on a prison for over 8 months now. I don't do a show where they appeal to the government, say, and the embassy in Guinea say make them look into them, but they answer the issue, make them release them, make them come back home. Can be with their families, them boy are not criminals, they don't have any criminal records or anything of that sort. Later on in the program, we will show now maybe a picture or image of them, but and I will give a little bit of a background story. But there is much more of a pressing discussion to be heard at this particular time. Because we know for say Sierra Leone don't lift the ban on labor migration on international work. We also know for say there is a new program being launched, within Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone wants 1,000, workers then go, especially in the Middle East, for go work. Inside this program, we go get to talk about waiting this actual program also entail, the details, and they keep me finger crossed, say the manager or director of this program or where they manage this program or coordinate this program na Salone, where in company na Necotech go join we for make we ask 2-3 questions. I understand say it tied up na another meeting right now, but it is our hope that he go join we. Meanwhile, the show must go on. I get somebody who also vast in international laws and whatnot, human laws, and where I believe say himself me help and the last repatriation of some of the brothers and sisters then from the Emirates about 2 years ago. We get no other person but Dr. Patrick B.K. Sovi Jr. And he na the headman na Sovi's International Training and Contracting Company Limited na Salone. The man entitled them Boku, but until na know for say we na ya we can cut and short, so now they are the left arm. Mr. Sovi, tell family they are doing.
Family, on a good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, as the case may be. And this now, on a brother, on a Pekin, Sovi, and are there for throw light on the international overseas recruitment migration process we currently they go on, and for throw light on other issues. So, on a good for me as we go. So I cut and short. I tell them thank you for letting us listen. That's all.
Okay. So I'm not going to waste much time. Mr. Sovi, I want to tell people in small about your background. And the reason why I want to tell people them about your background, even as we begin peel the abass layer by layer, I want to make people understand already the point of view where you they come off from. And when the callers them get questions or when they formulate them questions them, then go try for know how for frame them questions then so you go able for answer them. So without wasting much time, make we tell people in small, take few minutes, tell people in small about your background and your knowledge of international labor migration.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, to straight to the point, me na Patrick Sovi for short. Me na Sierra Leonean, me na dual citizen, an American citizen, and a Sierra Leonean by nationality. I born in Sierra Leone, the eastern part, Blama, to be precise. And I attend the Bo Government Secondary School, they call Bo School, from 1 to from 5, and do me 6th form in Albert Academy. Fortunately for me, I go to Fabre College, University of Sierra Leone, and graduate with a bachelor's of art, honors in information sciences, library and archives in 2005. From there, I worked small for the special court as court monitoring officer. Then I decided for take me your feature na me hand. And I'm glad the way we sister and the panelists they bring this topic how they say the road wants travel, because me na a beneficiary of Sierra Leone International Overseas Employment. I be there part of the first Sierra Leone and they will be left Sierra Leone for go Iraq in 2005 in search of green and pastures. I go Iraq, I go Kuwait, and emerge as the first Sierra Leonean for working at the Kuwait Oil Company. I turn camp boss and camp manager and HSC coordinator and legal advisor, where I end up for coordinate more than 35 different nationals, including Filipinos and other with man, they will be under me. And because of the company, say are proactive and dedicated to me work, they be here for push me in Iraq. I work in a green zone, go Tikrit, go Bahrain. At the end of the day, I end up in Afghanistan. I began for come back Sierra Leone and study law in 2000, from 2009 to 2013. And I graduated with bachelor's of law with honors. And then I left for go United States. But whilst at the Kuwait, I studied Masters of Strategic and Security Studies at Kuwait. And I go United States. I do my Masters of Laws now one of the best university in the US, when a Northeastern University School of Law, when are the best practical law school at the surface of the earth. And me na a fellow, me na international fellow, research fellow for FAGI, the Program for Human Rights and Global Economy. I don't work with Boku UN agencies, and I end up for doing my PhD, a major in international law and public policy. So as I speak, me na one of the few Sierra Leoneans doctor we get a PhD in law and public policy. So because of time, I can stop there. I get background in security studies, I get background in international recruitment, and I decide for come back Sierra Leone for can help, because knowledge is power, information is knowledge, knowledge is power, our power belongs to the people. So with time, now that I'm a background, I can stop for time.
Okay, thank you very much. And to the audience, sorry for that brief interruption. On my side, we Dr. Surib in the talk. So now make we begin going inside things. And I will encourage the viewers them for share this video, because there's been a lot of debate, a lot of talk, especially following the launch, or actually not even the launch, the recruitment of, searching for 1,000 workers them for going at the Emirates. So for go, for go do labor work, cleaning, taking care of kids, house cleaning, this and that. So I want to go to a document where the government of Sierra Leone Ministry of Labor and Social Security published on the 30th of April 2021. So that document, they read as follows. I will ask the technical team, make them post that document they up. The 30th of April, it says not be a press release. So it read, lifting the ban on overseas recruitment. The Minister of Labor and Social Security wishes to inform the general public that the temporary ban placed on labor migration in February 2019 was lifted on Wednesday, 21st April 2021. The ban was instituted in 2019 as a means to curtail the uncoordinated and unregulated inflow and outflow of migrants, which were mostly facilitated by non-registered underground overseas recruitment agencies. Since the ban, the government, through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, has been working assiduously to put in place regulatory mechanism to ensure safe and coordinated migration in Sierra Leone. In this vein, any recruitment agency that is interested in overseas recruitment process must visit the Ministry of Labor for the regulation of their agency's status. Such agency must possess a certification of authorization to operate as a recruitment agency from the ministry. All recruiting agencies are to ensure that the ministry is involved in every stage of the recruitment process, including vetting and approving overseas employment contracts, and must also note that the ministry, in partnership with SOS Global Ghana Investment, is responsible to handle the departure and return of all Sierra Leonean migrants. The public is fully informed that fees to be charged where necessary by recruitment agency is yet to be endorsed or certified by the ministry. The public is hereby advised not to transact business with any individual or recruitment agency without proof of the approved employment certificate and confirmation of endorsed fees from the ministry. Anyone doing so does so at his or her own peril. Consequently, on the above, the ministry is kindly requesting authorities at our major border crossing points, Lunge International Airport, Blamuya, and Gendema, to deny labor migrants from departing Sierra Leone without evidence of the following: approved employment contract for overseas employment by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, overseas employment certificate issued by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, labor clearance issued by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Mr. Sovi, the first question we're going to ask you from this press release is, why is it that the SOS, why is it that SOS, right? Mm-hmm. And the Global Ghana Investment, why are they the one responsible for handling the departure and return of the Sierra Leone migrants?
Oh, thank you very much. Before I proceed, let me make a disclaimer. Dr. Patrick Sovi not the work for the Ministry of Labor, neither are the work for Sierra Leone government. Meaning a Sierra Leone, a concerned citizen and legal expert will get interest in labor migration. But to your question, and
this is why I am hoping that the person responsible, Dr. Okase, will join us, because yes, she is better placed to answer some of these questions.
Yes, Dr. Okansi not there, but in the meantime, I'm able to give me a few knowledge I get, because I know Dr. Okansi way back as 2005. And before I go to Dr. Okansi question in background, a salient question you asked. Sierra Leone is a sovereign country, and Chapter 3 of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6, clearly states that the government is responsibility for provide basic essential services and employment for its citizens. So why SOS Ghana? SOS Ghana is a consulting firm where owned by Reverend Dr. Princess Okansi. Dr. Okansi na an engineer by training and international migration expert of over 40 years standing. And Dr. Okansi na one of the global Africa Union international migration experts. He don't study international migration at Canada, and he don't study at the Rockledge College at United States. He get vast international knowledge. But to come to your question, the minister, Dr. Alpha Timbo, when a lawyer, thought it fit, because I need to give the people the background. The labor minister, when I no less a person, when a lawyer, Alpha Timbo, now in 2005, start this overseas employment during the reign of Dr. Adma Tijan Kaba. And me with Sidoya, me Patrick Sovi, with more than 700 other Sierra Leoneans, they'll be fortunate for go Iraq through that program day. But you realize, say, to the press release, during this time, from 2007, during the APC regime, up to 2012, we don't get so many problems with regards and international overseas recruitment. We are not going to blame the government for that, but I will squarely blame the underground people then where they recruit. Now, this be make the former president, in his wisdom, Dr. Ernest Baikroma, through a minister, when Dr. Matthew A.N. Timbo, Teambo, when I cousin to Alpha Timbo, be slam a moratorium for stop all international recruitment because they realize say people then they will embark on temple run. What is a temple run? People then they will come out Salone, try for sneak through Liberia. Now make they make mention of Balamunya and the other crossing points them, and through Guinea. So they go as far as Banjul, so they go as far as Niger, for go Libya. At the end of the day, we they aim for go cross the Mediterranean Sea for cross go Italy. In that process, they lost a lot of Sierra Leoneans. Who brother and sister then died, some died in the water, some left, some go, they captured in Agadez, some they captured in Libya, they detained them, some they used them as prostitutes, some they used them as sex slaves and whatnot. So President Koma, through a former ambassador, whatever they call, or soldier for such, now I nickname that of blessed memory, don't they? Now be the ambassador on Kuwait. And it became a beginner report day. And by then, maybe the Sierra Leone and be helped now minister they for able to identify the various different visas for Kuwait. Why Kuwait? Because Kuwait now one of the richest countries in the world, and the Kuwaiti population depend more on overseas employment. But Kuwait, like other Arab countries like Saudi Arabia, get different set of visas where I go kind to. Like the Kuwait get about 6 or 7 set of visas. But at any time, any international recruiter recruit with visa 20. That person they get for be subjected to a house, and under the Kuwait labor law, the Kuwait penal code, it is right to have a housemate in Kuwait. But to back to your question, the government, this current government or Dr. Alpha Timo, lawyer Alpha Timo decide for hire the SOS Ghana for let it come as a lead consultancy immigration group we go Ghana Sierra Leone for help. Now that they make it clearly states that the press release say they will don't get uncoordinated or unregulated recruitment where under international law and human trafficking. Because at any time when you recruit 1 or 2 or 3 persons without the knowledge of the Ministry of Labour, Social Security and Industrial Relations, under the laws of Sierra Leone, and human trafficking in person. But at MLB say, then we get boku people they already refer to us as underground recruiters. Who are the underground recruiters? These are some people that will not get the labor license, we don't get the labor clearance. They just decide for them a cafe, they will go on the internet and start for contact with man, also Arab man from Kuwait or from Oman. Don't let Arab man there with time go send tell them say I want passport, I want maid. And interestingly, all of the contracts for Middle East, whether Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Yemen, or other countries, as long as GCC countries, they are written in Arabic. Their contracts are the kind Arabic. Most of them Sierra Leone and Boboya or Umandaya or some big man there, because some big man they are be under them program here, where they recruit without the knowledge of the government. So now that we make it don't start from during the period of APC, where we make the Islam on the 14th of August, Dr. Martin Timobi Islam a moratorium, and where they be suspend all international recruiters, where agency legal recruiters we get company, and we get license. Maybe fortunate for get international license, recruitment license through Dr. Martin Timbo, and they will stop with all. Maybe they recruit using the visa 18, where I will cancel later because the visa 18 for Kuwait is the regular industrial visa. We go make the person free, forget who side they go, they not go subject them to a house. The person go able to work, he get leave, he get contract, and he go able to live freely. But when once you recruit with visa 20, it is subjected to slavery and human trafficking. So for short, SOS Ghana, now a lead consultancy firm where the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Labour, Social Security and Industrial Relations don't hire for let them come because then are the master sabi people there where we able come and we able control this recruitment. Now that make as I speak to you, we get up to 1,000 Sierra Leoneans housemaid workers or domestic workers wey currently dey na the Redisi Blue Hotel where Dr. Okansi don't come. They don't go through the process. They don't go through the vetting. They do interview, conduct interview right around the country. And the basic criteria, the age limit are from 21 to 45. And apart from that, the person for able to speak basic English and for able to write basic numeracy. The doctor don't go ahead if he conduct physical training and they don't do medical, whether they check for 5 different sickness then, with one are HIV, hepatitis A, B, and C, gonorrhea, syphilis, pregnancy test, and the other sick. You find out, say, under international recruitment, in accordance with the International Labour Organization, Article 189, it gives country the right for let them recruit and send workers, decent workers, for let them able get decent living and let them get a freedom for work because that international labor standard sake. So now because of this, because Sierra Leone be done they be done prone to human trafficking. We should start they go, they come out through either to sneak through Guinea or through Liberia, because now me this will be right Toko when a transnational organized crime organization, when a department of CID will be explained to them about Kuwait, because I don't live Kuwait for the past 10 years before I go United States. And I speak basic Arabic, I able to understand the visas. So I be able to help the minister there and tell her, say, pa, in as much as una want do good, but them particular visa na domestic visas, and them picky are not for go Kuwait with short visas. So the minister be asked me, so a particular expert in this, what do you visa you go do? I tell and say, well, una get for change the visa from visa 20 to visa 18. But because of the visas that we don't come, and the picky they say they want go, government they say be under pressure. So they be end up for make let the picky they take undertaking, they go na transnational crime organization, una Toko, and they be bring their parents, they be sign a consent form. Where most of them picky be say then they go work wait on their contract, then they so the government of Sierra Leone doing that thing, they be send them. Unfortunately, when they send them, they not be able to inform the ambassador na Kuwait at the time when Ibrahim Kamara alias Osoya. So instead we come back and we report to President Nkrumah, and President Nkrumah, when I former president of Sierra Leone, we take robust steps and be ban, and be hold immediate meeting and be slam a moratorium, and be ban recruitment for go Kuwait.
So hold on. You dey try for tell me say in this process the government organize the recruitment of women of people them, and then
Yes.
they realize say then get halfway through a consultant come in we tell them say the visa 20 is not a good idea, give them visa 18, negotiate for visa 18, but because the process we not already commenced, they're not able alter, they're not able to stop the process and say now that we know that if we allow them picking a hassle for go, we are basically selling them out. Why they not wait? And also if they allow them for go and say, okay, under a guidance signature, they sign say yes because the picking them is so anxious, or the people them is so anxious they want for go work. How is it that then the governments go allow young people them for go work in a foreign country without informing the embassy in that foreign country there? Because that is what the embassy is there for. When a national of a country arrive, they're supposed to be already done, especially for a program of that monument. And then an ambassador come out and talk, say, it not be informed, now that make the picking them fall out, they fall into the hands where they fall, and now they can play that video there in a very short moment. I want to understand that process and that strategy there.
Good question. The government, the APC-led administration of Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, former president of Sierra Leone, be appoint Dr. Matthew A.M. Timbo as Minister of Labor. And Dr. Matthew Timbo, in his wisdom, become and give license to 6 Sierra Leoneans, including Patrick Sovi, where we give authorization for recruits. But by and large, among the 6, now me no more we don't go Kuwait, we don't leave Kuwait, we know about the Kuwait and different visas. So maybe they recruit with visa 18. In fact, I mean, the only Sierra Leone we don't recruit for Safi Hotel, na Kuwait, when a 5-star hotel. At the end of for send up to 70 Sierra Leoneans na Safi Hotel, and they all live with visa 18 as I speak. Some don't go America, some still live Kuwait, and then they live in good lifestyle. One day Ghana, few don't come back. But to your question, the minister of itself not they talk Arabic, neither you know they understand Arabic. So when that tension they become, you get
true, but that is why that is not an excuse for me. Within this government or the past government, that is not an excuse. When you know they understand when you they do contracting and you know they speak the language of the other person, you have translators, you have trained translators for understand the documents, and you also have lawyers trained lawyers where they speak and understand both languages for make sure say all of the details are correct and checked out within the laws of the land and the departing laws of the other land.
Good question. So now that's Dr. Matthew Timbo we do. In fact, we call a meeting, I call all MDA's stakeholders, including the head of TOCO, the head of CID, and representative from Ministry of Social Welfare, representative of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and they be called all with legal recruiters. But through that time that they will recruit using visa 18, you get other people them with underground recruiters, we not get license, we not get business with labor, but when they go to cafe and recruit and send them pikia. But because of the visa, they're all written in Arabic, then they tell the pikia and say, in fact, na Kuwait na they go, or na they go na hotel, or na they go na hospital, or they go pay na they go na school. So that be make mass influx of international recruitment be there. So they not be able to know between we are the legal recruiters them and the one them we not government not know about. So that be make the minister be slam a moratorium when the ambassador come and say, well, this thing don't look mixed up. We don't know that the legal recruiter, we don't know that the international and the fake recruiter. The people just they come and they flood na Kuwait. And when they reach na Kuwait labor laws get what they call abscond. When once una don't reach na the embassy na Kuwait, na the duty of the Kuwait embassy for responsible for its citizens. But if una go, they not get labor card, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs not aware about them. When they reach na Kuwait, they get the place where they call Shwek. Whether they get for confiscate some of them picking their passports because they go through dubious means, and we'll probably see whether they sell in the market, then they take the care, they go to their sponsorship, because Kuwait is a sovereign country, and according to their law, illegal for get housemaid. And if you go through the right process, where the current government they try for do, and where the former government instead they try for do. But because of time and because of lack of expertise, they'll not be able to handle the situation. I forbid, Temi left Sierra Leone and go back and go America. So the former minister, be slamming moratorium and try to negotiate for let the people then go with visa 18. So the few Sierra Leoneans they will be go under the government, we go with visa 18, where they not be get problem. So all the one they will go Kuwait with visa 20, then go through the illegal recruiters that will not even talk Arabic, will not even know it in a wasta, will not know it in a mondub in Arabic, because the wasta or ikama na you visa. But if you get visa 20, you are subjected to a house, and when you subjected to a house, for let the embassy able to track you and let them able monitor you, na Kuwait, it will be very hard. So what will be happen after some time? Some of them pick up. The situation become unbearable, they begin run away. And at any time we run away in Kuwait, they call it abscond under international law and under the Kuwaiti labor law. wey mean say for each day wey you run away, you dey pay 10 KD. The Kuwait currency, the Kuwaiti dinar is the highest currency in the world. 1 dinar is equivalent to $4 US. So if you don't run away, you don't pass 10, you don't run away past 6 months. The master will go by you, they go report, na police say, I become somebody for car work to me as housemaid, you don't run away. So they know they wait until you're ready for travel, for let you go, when you want to turn back to your country, though they arrest you, and you for pay that money. So that be make they be able to give an amnesty during this SLPP government in 2018, 2019, because of the Ebola and the Corona outbreak. The Kuwaiti government begin amnesty, where the current ambassador H.E. Aja Thomas and Mr. Van Gaal, they play keenly the role na Kuwait for let them able repatriate most of them here, because this problem an existing problem where we don't dey from the days of the APC. So now let's make the two governments then the two administration they ban the APC government ban, and now ban they be then affected APC common power. Where SLPP come back, they begin recruit. Don't we be make in 2019 the minister began for ban all recruitment. So it just lift the ban in April 3rd, and the advanced reason why it for lift the ban, because they realize say if they not lift the ban, then this irregular migration, the pikin they go, people they still go the traffic then, and they go, and as Sierra Leone, we all be seen at television where President Biobi go Lebanon, and we end up for get $10,000 and be able to try for let them repatriate most of them here. And the current ambassador of the Kuwait says be try for repatriate most of them here. Then the Kuwaiti government itself began amnesty. Then the Oman government itself began amnesty for let some of them here come. But because of the nature of the country, some of them here decide for stay there. And as we talk, we'll get up to a handful number of Sierra Leone'S who still live Kuwait where they work as housemaid using the Visa 20 system. Some they in hiding, some they in prison where the ambassador be don't try for pool. So as I talk, some they Oman and some they Saudi Arabia. So the government in its wisdom say that they contract SOS Ghana for let them come, let them able get decent, safe, and legal migration. Where Dr. Okanzin, an expert in that of 30 years or more standing, where they don't recruit internationally, they don't recruit for Africa Union, and now a lead, as I talk now, a principal legal consultant for the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Labor, Social Security and Industrial Relations. So that make you find out say when the minister don't lift the ban. In fact, they talk about 1,000. Me knowledge I get now about 4,500 Sierra Leone'S for left Sierra Leone for go Saudi Arabia for go work as housemaid using the safe, legal, and international migration process, which falls in line with Article 189 of the International Labour Convention, and which falls in line with Chapter 3, Act number 6 of 1991 Constitution, and which falls in line with the labor law approved by the Royal Decree number 51 of 2005 and its implementing regulations of Saudi Arabia, and which also falls in line with the material decision number 310 of 434H of 2003 regulating and employment of domestic workers. But why argue all the laws there? Because I don't study international law and I fail with Middle East law. As I speak, Saudi Arabia, as at 14th March 2020, don't regulate the migration process for domestic workers. Saudi Arabia, unlike Kuwait, they operate on the kafala system. And the kafala system of recruitment is a system where first time they carry the pikin and go, they hold their passport, they're subjected to a house. But as at 2020, they don't regulate their status and themselves don't count decent policies which falls in line with international standards. We make the Sierra Leone government through Dr. Timbo, when the minister, instead of get a memorandum of understanding with the Saudi government, and they don't get an agreement with their company here, where them picky get for go, they get for make sure say they get for get a proper monitoring mechanism where they get for get somebody, an officer of the Minister of Labor who get for go with them. One go see who said they get for the accommodation, well different from previous recruitment. So now, if then get for good, if you want, then I understand, say the first batch for left in the next 2 weeks because they didn't camp right now, they didn't register blue, they don't go through all the medical and they don't vet them. So then get for good in an accommodation way different, where they get for get a standard 8 hours work. They get for go work. I understand, say the salary now $400 or so per month, and they get for get a contract of 2 years. And after that 2 years, they is subject to renewal. And the minister get for the check, and Dr. Okazi said get your agents they get for the check. In fact, the medical team.
Okay, yeah, we go into that. And no one caught you, but we go into that. You say several things that were alarming to me. The first way you say is that what has been published out in the public by the government is that 1,000 recruitment for labor. Now you just reveal here, say, you know, my numbers were skewed, that it's not 1,000, it's 4,500. So for me right now, the number don't almost quadruple. It went from 1,000, we are now looking at 4,500. We get for coming to that number day. We are looking at $400 a month. Yes, I understand things na the side where we come out, especially in a salon. But if you take somebody for go work, on average salary, what is their salary? What is their hourly rate? If they work 8 hours per day, what is their hourly rate? And then they go make $400 per month. Only $400 for working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, or tops if you 40 hours a week. Because now when they work 7.5 hours a week, 7.5 hours a day, now they work 37.5 hours a week. But when you work 8 hours a day, it means that you work 40 hours a week. What is their hourly pay? I go divide them very soon for make I bring the number. $400. Is $400 what our brothers and sisters going to the Emirates to be we know what they've been subjected to, and now you tell me say some of the laws then don't change. We also know that when laws are changed, it doesn't mean that the applicability of the laws are in place. And we don't see that day. A law go down, the law, but when it comes to how it is applied on the ground, not two different things. So I ask again, is it worth sending 450 of our strong men and women to the Arab Emirates just for $400 a month? 4,500 of our strong men and women just for $400 a month. Can we not create incentives and work structures and training within Sierra Leone, whereas then go able for get that 5 million leons or top 6 million leons per month? And is it worth putting them the constraints of that kind hard labor day? Because first of all, we know the system, or some of us know the system within the Arab community, okay, or within the Emirates, the Middle East. Then they eat 3 meals, sometimes 4 meals a day. When they get their houseboy, then sometimes they can get 2-3 different mates then. The mates then they work by shift sometimes, but sometimes the one household now one maid no more it gets. Make God not thank you happen for be that one person inside that hostel. You get for wake 5 o'clock in the morning. You get for cook breakfast, wash the pikin, then make sure say your madam is taken care of. Can cook lunch. Then why you don't cook lunch done? You not get them for breed self. They ready now for can cook dinner. But I will hold you there. Write all of my comments. We'll come back to it. I will play a video because you also say that that the last recruitment were done by illegal recruiters. And so therefore, now that make we sister them find themselves, now the entrapment where they find themselves, now the slavery where they find themselves, wherein they were raped, they were abused, they were tortured. And we also see what thing happen in Lebanon, where they not agree for paying their money after they don't work done. The master, they hold their money them. And then there had to be a negotiation for make them bring them come back na Salone. I don't know when they come back now, if the master then finally pay them the money them with them in the earnings them with them in don't work before they reach na Salone, or if it was just an SOS negotiation, bring them come back from the homes. If not the homes time, bring them come back. And then give them small money, small pocket money for making them whole, as you know, do ya una all this as una kolwata. We know for say una don't go through this, una don't go through that. And I'm not saying with all of that there are reasons people who, despite all of this, still feel say, you know, the latter is still better than the former, meaning that it is better for them to go and face whatever they need to face than staying in Sierra Leone and enduring Sierra Leone the way it is. I want to play that video. Make an ask with technical team, make it play that video. This video was a couple of years ago during the Emirates situation.
Yes, me family. Me na awana to Kabia. Papa government. Sorry, ask we people are already out there. Europe, 2 years, we don't come on our country. Some of who be then also win as students them. Some of who then also win as trader them. Some of who trust microcredit because it's not enough for we. We say we don't go fend on our country. We people and them, some of who people are not getting nothing. But the camera we brother then can ayaso. We Salone brother then can pass where we. Then say we want our students them. But we go then these students and like especially me na be nurse from 34 hospital. They say they need nurse from 34 na Kuwait. Then go pay the highest money for do nursing course. I left my poor family what they manage. I won't go na Kuwait at least a better day. First them they say na you get your part to the pass with me. All of a sudden the man tell me say the program don't change. Now Guinea the for pass with we. We'll reach Guinea, then take some of the documents and we earn. Because the man called first. Some of you go to school with a read because they never ask that question, you don't read. As we reach and I take the documents and we earn. And me I ask, when are they take the documents? You don't understand? It's a long one on a transit to the take. I don't want them travel. Now me like, but more than a Salone, I don't want them travel. I don't know what's in a transit. Now book no more Mr. Bikolan. One go and I send a transit to Nagogo so. When I know with me a person are very conscious of me book one. As the rich say in Ghana. Now say in Ghana this will not go that side there they say now they say they transit to Addis Ababa. When they call it Addis Ababa they say na Ethiopia. Ethiopia now from Ethiopia to Kuwait and they show na exact how it travel. Ethiopia now can Kuwait na net around the 2 o'clock net. Now not pick up the whole of us at the airport. I think people they all like those things. I say what you know if I begin for that, no say no man a blessing, and I go for go serve Mama Salone. So if you better for me Dana, I go come and prove a right so me Sierra Leone sister them. What do the rights done there? What we all laugh, when not be stand like me. If you God go give me this, I be big intention. Say I let me sister the other will not be get 100 euros for travel, and they come and defend me country. That's me make her go. Then begin all I know them. Ask the company what make the all lose. What happened? The man push me down at the first time we first see. Why are they ask? I know sabi the Arabic. I go sit down back full. I dey land at 8 o'clock morning. Water for drink cannot get some. After 2 o'clock afternoon, I don't sleep there. Now the man keep me at the bench. What make I go sleep at the chair? I know that you old. The madam can't take me. The madam is self come for me. Me I no go na agent so. Now the madam says that I can't take me. Where can't take me? Now pull me documents in my box because I can't go me certificates them. Now pull me documents in my box. I listen no more. Now I can't carry go hospital. Why go? Now the madam asks me, you married? The whole way come if I yes I'm married. You get picking? I say I'm not married, but I get picking the sir. Now they say how the Salone I say fine. Once when the woman asks me for say Salone get mineral, he got resources, he got diamond. What you can do? I say I can learn nursing. What is nursing? Are you capable to do nursing? I say yes, my yes sir. Now put me document again. Early morning, I said I go wash pan, now take care of the picking them, now cry and begin so. I go butu for pray. The mommy kick me and me waste. She say if I don't kill me country, now waste I go na me country. Yeah, and then prayer. I asked Mama 1 month, 2 months, I begin pick the language. When they talk me say the Panamaka Taton consumer for the life easy for me. 1 month pass. The man tell me, I call him and they tell me say he dey pay me where the money for be $550. But 1 month on not pay me. You walk down and begin balance me. So maybe they be say you walk down and begin balance me. But when you $550, no not pay me the $550. Mama, you know they pay me. That's why I don't work on them for pay me. He asked me say. Why they sleep and they pay? Why they eat and they pay? You don't observe me. 2 months person not pay me. 3 months person not pay me. But God be make I begin to Nokia phone. Where as I reach on the airport, 9 buy for me this sim. So now I call him and I say, hey Papa, I don't work 3 months so not pay me. I say not gonna make I go back now. Miss Salone. Hey mama, patient someone they pay you. I work 6 bloody months. I work now the place they call Sabah Salim. And they walk like 5 stories, and you also on a palace, my sister. You know there is all the money where you go to give quarter, where you go for go the mommy say he grab before I eat. Where God give the empty tea, like where I give the cake, she won't go eat. The man back the cup on the face. I get the mark then on my body, hot mark. I get the mark, look at this are one part the mark them, and my breast. Then to hot water, the other one if it's a fried cake what they call sambusa cake. It turn the hot oil on my foot. I get the mark again on my foot. The afternoon, I go take the picking them. Show me one side the road, make it two and not sabi the road. The picking them late. One can then beat me. The sabi like can they beat slave with. I get the mark. I get the mark all on my body. I be. And then I just 1 year 8 months. I said 2 years contract. The 8 months I issue one of the picking come over see camp. He can meet me. And then I kitchen. And then I fry the cake. Now the girl picking, the boy picking can all be so sorry, mama. He call me so. But Arabic. I say, Habibi, it's Helwa. That means say you waste it fine, oh, you fine. I asked, I said, why should I have Habibi? If she not say, wait, see, why you can ask me, why make her for church you waste? No, say no for ask. I say, no, ask no only. I say, wait, I get some of the video there where they put me right. The next one, they go my direct to us. Why you don't? Now I can't tell me food. I get the market on the food. Now I can't save my mind and not rape me. My sister, me don't join me, papa, them, me government. Me don't join me, not Kuwait. Me they rape me. I got proof them. On the phone. Then tell me what. That's all I not talk. Beat. The man where they the woman is picking up police. You get a koboko. It worked me. I lost me sense.
So that particular side, based on what you talk about, say they rape you.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, what's the one try for no because we get Soriat organization them na this particular country. You know the likes of the Asma James, the Fantasy Series. So you the try for call on the attention now. So when I don't go get enough in the hand and my treatment.
People like we see a little brother that forgot help we. The first man call it tell me say we see a little brother that tell me say yeah so there's so now nothing goes for nothing. Waiting and nothing goes for nothing. If I pull you can't then also me. Hey Mr. Long brother I don't have 5 years I can't then also you. I'm gonna come on and see the first man on me na Egyptian. He said first you rape me before you give me side for home. I said Papa I'm not gonna make you rape me. Can you go to the embassy? Also, can you go, Papa, not to embassy? Now, how the rapist back, I go to the I want to say one place that call my bola. I go see one of my Salone sister and I go embrace me. He says, sit down, I ask so. Then you work, you get your money. And that work that they pay, also not good for me, sister. And he said, go, okay, that's where you document. No document. So
then they tell we say, what would I think up? They say, what would I come back? What would I return back now in our country? They say, a prison can come out to go like that.
I got the video on my phone right now. Now the police hold me for me document. I say I not get document. Now it's okay when you go, you can't go to my country. I say alhamdulillah. I say you can't go in my country now, no bad. The first time I go to call it, I fit fast. The first show land the way to go. No, na the original. That's how they first. I get the video where they first for it. When they done, they come na so na they go suffer when na the work. Now what I dey talk. Alhamdulillah, me don't see me country today. I come na this country here. Like work I carry. I come na this country. If you see me go down. So what come? See people that embrace me. Now as I dey talk to you, who say me? I'm not the one that for me. I want not to this
So now, what did they try for?
Me sister and then I jail.
You don't come back na Salone.
Yes, sir.
Your sister then, yes, what do they try for?
Me sister and then I jail. But then I put my sister in Nigeria right now. So they don't do nothing. They get documents. So they get documents. Then they own it. So they don't get documents. Then they block the oath.
So now you call the attention of the government.
Yeah. One place so they call sweat. My sister and then they. One place so they call suffer. My sister and then they.
So basically, I think say this now one of the most tame videos them or tame recording or tame please them what we've been seeing during that same day. You know, the ladies them in they make the point of just like waiting I say before I show the video, how then they wake very early in the morning, you know, cook. They're not allowed for eat until the madam tell them for eat. They're not allowed for this. They're not allowed for that. Then they you know, then become, you know, a sex object. Then become a sex slave to the point where they force for the wear trousses under them close the net for sleep. Even with the trousses under them close the net for sleep, it's not enough. You know, they are not protected against, you know, the prey of the man then within are the host. You know? And all sorts of abuse and whatnot. So I wonder why, if we have traveled this road before, I wonder why we want to travel the same road for $10 an hour. I wonder why we want to travel the same road for $10 an hour. If it is okay for our sisters to be raped, to be maltreated, to be, you know, subjected to inhumane condition, to be abused, rejected, and dejected, and only in the name of our country is not there yet, you know, there are greener pastures elsewhere, it is better to send them off there than to have, you know, for make we all cultivate, build, and develop together. I wonder what is so, like, waiting at the end goal of all of this. I go open the phone line. Viewers, the phone lines are open for making a call and ask Mr. Sovi question, Dr. Sovi, or give a contribution, but make a left and make it answer this question because there is so much. There is so much.
Well, thank you very much, my sister. I will play the video. And from the horse's mouth, they don't talk saying Kuwait. And when you talk about Emirates, na two different countries. United Arab Emirates, when Dubai, get 7 states from Kuwait. This na Kuwait it happened. And from already the Peking talk, you go realize, say, you go argue with me, say, now with Visa 20, you go Kuwait, and it not go through the government. It go through the illegal, what I refer to as human trafficking in persons, we fall in line with the Human Trafficking Act of 2005. As I speak to you, we get so many Sierra Leoneans who did that prison behind bars, will be responsible, we will send them picking the day. They landed a grand feature when one of the judges of Sierra Leone, they take them case the day. But what's in the happen in Kuwait, a pathetic and the other Middle Eastern country because the representative that will get in their country then they as ambassadors, one, need for know the laws. Like me live Kuwait 10 years, I study, I do one of my masters in Kuwait, I dey speak perfect Arabic. And the Kuwaiti government and the Kuwaiti country officer get the Kuwaiti domestic laws of 2006. And Article 4 of that law, they tell you, say, when once somebody they recruit for Kuwait from any part of the world, that person they get forget a registered license from a company, and where itself which Kuwait, they get for be accredited, where they get that will be done through the Ministry of Interior in Kuwait. This now a laws will be signed by His Highness Sheikh Alwa Ahmad Al Jabbar Al Sabah, where that the Crown Prince of Kuwait, when the current king. But what will be happen? I tell you, say you get half set of recruiters, the way are legal recruiters, the way they go through government, where will not be able to understand the basic Arabic and not able to understand the visa where they come in there. Thank God for few of you, we don't go to them part of the world, they understand Arabic and talk them. And we'll get exodus of people there, including some government officials, will be put on part this irregular recruiting, whether human trafficking in person under international law. So if I say the Pekin say, the people that will take them, first they say that they go to Lunge. I mean, this way write letter in 2013 before they go to America to the government by then, where we guide the minister, and the minister will take a proactive step, where means say anybody where they go Kuwait, where they pass through Lunge, they check your passport, they check your visa, because I translate all the visa them from Arabic to English, and they give Toko. Toko will get people in Lunge where they track on their people. As you say, they go Kuwait, then they want the type of visa where you get. And as you get visa 20, so when a domestic visa, where they go subject you to the immune and degraded treatment here, then they arrest you and they arrest the person where you go. So that they make demand the human trafficking now organized crime under international law, just like drug dealers there. They're very, very powerful and they get a network. So now that make themselves revert well. And soon as Lunge they pass now, you realize that the Pekin talk say they say na Guinea they care they go. What will be happy now? The recruiter happy they tell them Arab man they have for let them send the visa na Guinea. Don't they take the Pekin now go Guinea or go Liberia? Don't they fly from Guinea now? Can then go Kuwait? And when they reach Kuwait, the Sierra Leone government don't know about them because they don't go through anybody will go through regular migration process. Like waiting they happen right now. All the Pekin they get for register there. The embassy in Saudi Arabia get for nobody. They get for get labor card, and the government get already signed an agreement with the Saudi government. Say they not get for go in a host. Like they why be go in a host. They why get for go in a separate accommodation. Because me when they talk to you so Patrick Sobi, why you go say Patrick, why you support the idea for let them go, or why you not support the idea for let them go? I could talk say I stand in the middle because if you reach a time I take me off future on my hand. From 2005, I look for job in Sierra Leone. There are no jobs. I began for risk my life and go Iraq and start for work for $300. At the end of the day, I end up in Afghanistan and meet a military major who help me for going to the United States. So today, me and I a success story. I don't come on here back. I don't go through Temple Run. I don't pass through the water. I don't cross go Italy because the hardship they make somebody. They take some man they say before Udaya work no day, the sister. Now the government in sole duty for provide jobs. And the job they provide, may you know outside Sierra Leone day. If you are not connected, you don't get the jobs. Make it talk devoid of politics, devoid of government. If you are not connected, you don't get the jobs. So now this they make most of your brother and sister they say, well, Fatu don't go, you don't survive. Let me self-try. But the difference when they go with, they don't know the type visas where they go. And some people feel say, Kuwait, they in America. So they say, I will call my sister. And then consider, the once you go with visa 20, they seize your passport in your hand, done. Then can you go, government not going to know about you, and where they make the subject to certain humane and degraded treatment. But so, for finally explain what it make it different, because I still that question actually. What it make we don't pass this road? Why would they pass this road back? Because this current government don't put mechanism in place. As I speak, the Minister of Labor don't sign a memorandum of understanding with Oman, Our sister, they're not just the Kuwait, they Saudi Arabia, they Oman, they get Bahrain, they Qatar, and all the other countries they because of job not in the country. And the government for provide job for the Sierra Leoneans.
So is that the type of job? Is that the type of job the government is providing for Sierra Leonean? Is that the value of a Sierra Leonean? Being a maid, being a housekeeper, is that the value of a Sierra Leonean?
No, that is not the value. But there I can tell you, say, you get about 53 million domestic workers all over the world. And Sierra Leone are just one. Under the International Labour, the ILO Convention of Article 189, where Sierra Leone is signatory of, when the Sierra Leone if you ratify that law, they give a free will to a domestic worker. This now an untrained and unqualified somebody we willingly say me one go way different from you when an educated person. Me go Kuwait, I go Kuwait, I don't get my first degree. I don't work as laborer, I work as admin and HSC coordinator. And as I speak to you, governments get boku program them for even Canada and United States. The minister get boku program them, decent job for other people then. But the minister, as they speak, not give license to no Sierra Leone yet. Now that make this process it absolutely be done through the Ministry of Social Welfare, Ministry of Labor, Social Welfare and Industrial Relations, through this SOS international company where they come, they provide consultancy service. So the minister in his wisdom say, and they make sure say they monitor, because Mr. Sego, I ask him, I say, Mr. Minister, why would they send your sister them for go na this country? And I say, Patrick, you remember saying me be send una, and during that time, I be monitor una, be send Mr. Smith for go check, and they be make sure say una always go there, nobody part, they not rape una, they not abuse una do una work and una come back. So now, Mr. Dos sign contract with Saudi government when me don't see with me eye, and they don't put benchmarks in place for check. And Dr. Okanzina, a professional in your own making, we don't practice for 30
So the thing is that I know say you don't talk a lot about Dr. Okanzi. That is one of the reasons why I've been for wish for make it Nayasu. Because some of the labor migration stories coming out of Ghana is not that you cannot write home about. So I'm saying with all of our expertise and all of the structures that we don't put in place, if they are not effective within the borders, the four quarters of Ghana, how is she so sure that they are going to be so effective for Sierra Leoneans who have gone through, terrible ordeal? But make I hold you, they make I go to the phone calls, because at this point of the show, we can go inside the phone, make I take the callers, then get first dibs into how the show go now on. Caller, waiting at your name and also you the call from.
Mohammed Boy Jalo Jamboria calling from Norway.
Okay, Mr. Jamboria, waiting you get for we this evening time.
I just want to make a comment on what's in this foolish man they talk.
I would urge us to really mind the use of we language and how we refer to people them we they on air. So let's just be respectful to one another in the way we choose to address them. Thank you. You can go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I just want to let you know, say me a professional trade unionist. If you ask Alpha Timbo who Mohammed Boy Jalo Jamboria is, I don't hear you, he don't quote all the conventions. The one on domestic workers is only applicable internally, not internationally. Only internally. Yes, it has been ratified by the Parliament of Sierra Leone. But they're not giving workers where they migrate from Sierra Leone to any other country international protection, except if the country where then they go, don't ratify the same convention. And the other thing is, you cannot say because
you
this
need to
worker
lower the
this
set
side
way they
this
listen from.
then they go that side.
Please lower the set way they
so
listen
then get
from.
what treat them
Lower the set
differently.
way they listen from
We
because
are
with
looking
the
at a society with a kind of sociology. And if people don't live there, if you don't live in a country before, you know the sociology of the country. You know how then they treat people, and you know say they not get respect for people then. Why you for be a party for traffic people to that place then? The only thing I go ask him, is he ready that he will be quoted in the future, because I've already taken contact with international institutions on anti-modern day slavery. Is he ready to be a party? If a case come up tomorrow for them people out and they traffic, so it is the duty of every government to provide jobs for its citizens. But they know the law not is for exporting people into voluntary slavery. Let him think about that. Ghana then get a case of using children as slaves in the Volta region. So a Ghanaian cannot come and do well. So if you want, let's go take Ghanaians can go. When I try to stop this nonsense, bro, I don't mind.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I go on. I hope so you take your notes so you respond to the callers and questions or concerns. I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you call from.
Yeah, yes, good evening, Miss Matilda. Good evening, Mr. Patrick. This is being from Kansas City. I tell you plenty thank you, and we appreciate the program owner can bring cancer with. But what me want for say, the government not able for provide job for everybody in that country. The government instead not getting aid over its shoulder, much more for provide job for everybody. It not go happen. But they can provide the environment where will allow people them for come in and let job them day out there for the people them will not a safe ground instead of then they go out there for offend job. And another thing when me feel say not they in line, Mr. Patrick. I mean, you being part of that team there at one time. Me not feel say if anything not done there in order, then people then they will not be for allow them, or then they under pressure, then they no, then they not for be a reason for allow let them people then they be for left the shores of Sierra Leone for go let them they under the kind of treatments in it. It's not just right. It's not just right. If not any one of Munayon picking them, including the minister, the way they had them position and they then go allow them picking them for go that kind one day. If they not say enough safe, the conditions they would get for subject them to is very slavish and impoverished. I mean, who not go allow that? No, that is not going to be a choice. Mr. Sef just come out Salone. The way Salone day, Miss Matilda, Mr. Patrick. Now a drowning situation, anybody can hold on to even a straw. So the go where people they need they go now out of pure desperation. Cookie when at 3,000 Leone'S a day, some them they were even low at 2,000. People they know they afford for item for the day. So when people then they go they I mean now just run and they run where them desperate. So me at this point, me don't day now. All the programs they appreciate them. But now we begin look for solutions then, Mr. Patrick. What thing we go do for now with people then they come on that safely. Now then they me feel say we don't now they will for don't they. Because all them people they are where they in position for let them do things and way right. I don't feel say they care. They not care. I mean no we say the truth. They not care. If they care, then go do things them in order. I don't care what kind of pressure with them they under. Not so pressure for you sacrifice somebody in life and let it go through the kind of treatment so then people they need to go through. It's not right. So now we look for solutions. How we go help we sister and we brothers and when they come on na Salone, how they go and be safe at them places there. Now this time we for the top boss. I appreciate the conversation, but now we begin look for solutions. No, we not make excuses, say, oh, they be under pressure. No amount of pressure, not the way what somebody in life. Thank you so much. I appreciate your effort, Mr. Patrick. But now we begin look for solutions. Now we begin find ways how they put an end. Now desperation, the people then they desperate. I mean, anything they go hold on to them. If somebody there you're not able to afford, according to the dollar to the Leone'S, 35 cents only you eat for the day. Somebody tell you say it go give you $200-300 per month. Then you go there, you go work, you go take them. And you are a typical example of the situation that you are talking about. You are a success story, but how much success story they need when people they don't lose their life, people they don't subject them to slavery. So now begin look for solutions. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller, and welcome back from the land. I see the frustration in your voice, but I strongly believe, say, with determination, unity, one voice, we will definitely arrive. I don't know when. I don't know if it will even be in my lifetime. But hey, I am hopeful we will arrive. So I will go back to Dr. Sophie, continue your trend of thought, even as we carry on at the program.
Well, I tell all the callers thank you. I tell Mr. Jambora thank you. And so Mr. Jambora state of me, Patrick Sophie, not a recruit mate. Me an international lawyer, we get a master's in international law, we get a PhD in international law. I decided for come back and guide which we will help.
But hold on, you say you recruited for the GCC. Yes. You recruited 20, was it? No, 700 and something workers for the hotel. Which work were they do?
Land back. I recruited up to 70 workers for Kuwait with visa 18. And
what were they doing? It was a work recruitment. So to say that you are not recruiting workers, but
I'm not recruiting under visa 20. I was recruiting under the best international standards. I took all my workers to Kuwait, making sure that they are well protected. As I speak, all of them are safe and healthy. They are doing well, and they are working more than $400 in Kuwait. So that the industrial cannot occur, the right visa, the industrial visa for Kuwait, I may use.
So if you use the right industrial visa for Kuwait for send people and go work, and you don't say you're an international lawyer and you know about this thing where they go on a Salone, why would you sit back and allow a negotiation of $400 a month when you know that they can earn more than that? Obviously, because you have the proof. It's been tried, it's been tested. So therefore, you have the proof. When you know that they can make more than that, why would someone like you sit back and let a process of $400, $10 an hour, working 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day to go through?
Good question. Then I see the contract, I see the advertisement, I took upon myself and go meet the minister. I talk to the minister. I tell and say, Mr. Minister, in the first place, which visa the people had to go with? Because I don't live in their country and I know exactly how they speak perfect Arabic. And the minister in turn tell me, say, Patrick, relax. We don't put modalities in place. Then people are not they go with visa 20. They are all going with visa 18 and they are well protected. And this now is just a start. They get the contract when they reach there, and this is like a 2 years contract, after which they get for improve. I don't work for government.
No, I understand. So the government is allowing them to go there to work for $400 a month, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week for $10 an hour. And And the state say them people here so need for pay the NRA na Salone. And when you work in a country, it doesn't matter under what recruitment, you also need for pay taxes na then country then they. So at the end of the day, their gross might be $400, but their net is not $400. So what are we really saying here?
Good. Well, that make with few knowledge I get, a gap common America come a time for help them. Who are they say will hold me under every standard, not get from responsible not to miss.
Okay, we they get some issues, some interruption. We they get some problem with yeah.
It gets me now, and it's therefore and they use me phone. I make one come. I know see I go meet them, I guide them, and refer them to the labor policy where they already get in place now Labor Day. And the minister say you don't put modalities in place. They don't get an international expert from Ghana where they come, and things not going to be as usual. So, the president of a country, and they vote for the president by section 40 Act number 6 of 1991 Constitution get right for hire and fire. Me not to minister. Me not to government, me not just one Sierra Leonean where they take me time for guide them. Now I go Facebook first and put all what I know about Middle East, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain. I tell them. And the people that say that they go, who then I mean for stop them. Some people that even cost me say
okay, so a caller, Mr. Jamboya, make a salient point. He said then treaties there, so even though yes, Salone don't ratify them, but if the country then where then they go, they not ratify the treaty, it's null and void because they are for domestic workers internally, not for international workers.
Well, all domestic workers under international law are subjected to international labor organization laws. And that make the minister in his wisdom talk the Indo get an MOU with the Saudi government. That make the minister say he don't get an MOU with Oman and Kuwait government. So me, Patrick Sovi, left on me, we don't give me your legal advice, say, well, let the people then go Kuwait on visa 18, where problem not go there. The post way born for me as I speak the Kuwait, my brother the Kuwait, what come America and Kuwait they go. I get a resident of Kuwait. And I love Kuwait. I love for work there more than every America because of I know why I like Kuwait. But me not go come the same road we pass and begin work Iraq for $300 because the woman they say things be hard. I begin for take me off feature on my hands and I go today I get a PhD in law because I be taking that risk. But
you are the exception. You are the exception. You are an exception to a success story. When we look at the entirety, you are just an exception. Where they can say, by the grace of God, you made it somehow. Because the story that we know is not this exception. The story that we know is not, the fine rosy and whatnot. And that make have been for really make Dr. Okansi. Before Duncan at this program here so today, it been for shed a lot of light, and yes, I am going to say I still extend a hand for her to come to the show and explain to the Sierra Leonean people, those in the diaspora, those all over the world, because this program is watched by people all over the world, for explain to them, for put their mind at ease. Not only as to expertise, because this is not about expertise, this is about practicality and reality lived. Because if with such knowledge and such expertise, she has not been able to replicate it in her own country in such a way that we know they get the stories then, when they come outside of migrant labor from Ghana and some of the really, hideous experiences them of people. Then I'm for say, yes, bingo, we have found our person to run our pilot. Government cannot employ everyone. That is for certain. The biggest employer in any nation, any thriving nation, I can say this for free, is not government. It is the private sector. So we need for build with private sectors them in order for make we boost the economy and make we get a stable situation. But if these are the avenues and means through which government they try for create a job, I'm sorry to say it's not the right way. It is not the right way. It might give you a temporary relief or seemingly temporary relief because, as they say, the people they still need for that $400 a day. They still get cut and then go for pay NASIT for that $400 a day. And when you then are a foreign country, you work in a foreign country. That foreign country they get for deduct taxes from your pay. So at the end of the day, waiting really at the money way for this $10 an hour, $400 a month, waiting really at the money where we brother and sister them get for they bring come now this nursing work, now this hospital cleaning work, now this how they call them construction learning work and whatnot. And I therefore can read a couple of actually one of them one of them was similar to, but maybe make a read, because this minister how they call them Sierra Leone government vet recruitment agencies is similar to the one I don't read, but I guess I can read one other article very soon where maybe go give away a little bit more light, shed a little bit more light into things them. But again, if you've been in the game as a Sierra Leonean, you've worked the mile.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked the mile. And because you've worked the mile, personally, I feel like you are strategically placed to consult on this and for make sure, say, whatever be the case, let our brothers and sisters be protected. Make 2 years down the road or a year down the road, we not sit down, they do GoFundMe for bring them come back. We not sit down, they sound the alarm bell in this chair to say, it look rosy on paper, but when it comes to the practicality, this is what is going on.
Yeah, well, my sister, I tell you, thank you. I believe say all what you don't talk so fall in line with what the second caller talk. We say what will be the solution, and I tell her thank you. I bless her. I tell Mr. Jamboya thank you. And the one solution I have to say now for let not to like how the other caller they say not to just domestic work the Kuwait or the other part of the world, and the amount of engineers where Philippines they send or Ghana they send up to 300 nurses in Barbados every 6 months. They get a contract with Barbados. As I speak, I know for more than 6 different US companies. Like the KBR, the Kilo Brand and Rutuna International Company, where they give logistics support to United States Army, they recruit all over the world. And I've been fortunate for work with them. But it boils down to the government. It boils down to the government, and most of the representatives they send in their country, then they sadly some don't even know the language, and they're not able to know. Mr. Jamboya talk about social-cultural environment, and they're not able to know how the country they operate. They get the Kuwait fund, they get KMPC, they get Kuwait Welcome You work for where they hire technocrats, engineers, doctors, lawyers, and what have you. So if government begin look into that thing that when the minister said they go look into, we then decide for guide them, and at any time when they need we help, we can give them. As I talk to you, I just scout program for from Bahrain for the government for come on electrification and light. Because I say Bahrain just did 2 hours from Kuwait. I'll be there with the executive director today, then they discuss about that. But now one thing about Sierra Leone. If you poke he knows too much past something, so man go me party they don't begin already accuse me say so you to make it come and make a call down a Salone. I say I feel say that me time this for can give back because I don't come on at this country, don't pass 6-7 years. So, but it left to the government for let them heed to the advice. And the minister open up and he go back and try and talk to him and series in one for let them increase on their salary the day. Two, or let the pikin they go on good job, but they already get a contracting farm when I SOS Ghana. So the other solution could be like how the minister we do.
Why SOS Ghana? Why shouldn't Sierra Leone be able to take care of their own solely? Why bring in a third party?
Good. Well, Sierra Leone, it might interest you for no say as at 2015, we'll get a company we call Slora, when a Sierra Leone Association of Overseas Recruitment Association, what they call Slora, we're composed of 21 agents, legal registered agents in this country. But I believe say, the minister said this is not a test case. You want to see the capacity, how the people that they will able to work and will able to help for. See, then it will decide for give license.
A test case with 4,500 people?
The decision major to minister. The minister, he will find that the minister shall come and clarify. Always me they talk and they speak as a Sierra Leonean. And when they provide jobs for Sierra Leone, if I left here, my next station at Kuwait or Qatar, I will go and try for bring decent job for we brothers and sisters. By that I mean high-paying jobs, because me don't live there, I don't work there, I get the contact. But now that sorry, this thing. Hello.
Yeah.
So now that I believe that we'll be able to do, and also if I let the same people that are other countries, they will offer with the laws. That the laws of the Middle East, like the Saudi Arabia, how they send the people there under the regulation framework of government migrant workers under the 2009 Act. The Saudi gets different laws for the private workers, the private sector, as against the domestic workers. When you go Kuwait,
just give me a second. Viewers, listeners, the phone lines are open. I know once at the time where they close the show, now that time the phone lines will become jammed. The phone lines are open right now. If you think I just started the show 30 minutes ago, no, that is not the case. We are an hour, 30 minutes into the show. We are an hour, 30 minutes into the show. I didn't just start the show 30 minutes ago. The phone lines are open. So if you get any contributions, any comments, any questions, this is your time to ask. When they close the phone lines and they wrap up the show, they close the phone lines and they wrap up the show. Thank you very much. You can go ahead.
So, like the laws in Kuwait different from the laws of Saudi. The laws of Oman different from the laws. They are all GCC countries, but they are all sovereign states. So, like Kuwait, under Article 17 of the Kuwaiti labor laws, get specific regulation of office owner. Order they recruit, how they recruit, order that they must do. But sadly, most of the recruiters, they are not even know, they're not fulfill the laws. So one of the solutions will be, let them send people in other countries that they will understand the language, will understand the nature. Like Article 22 of the Kuwaiti labor law talk about recruitment contract prepared, how they recruit, how they make contracts. These people, where they go, are they insured? Are they covered for medical, their accommodation, their housing, in case of death? Like one question I asked the minister, say, well, these people that they go under a Ghanaian company, in case of somebody go die, which law they go able, under which law they go able to arbitrate? Are they going to be subjected to the Sierra Leonean law, or they are going to be subjected to a Ghanaian law? Because in mercantile law, we do law of contract, they have what they refer to as mercantile law. When was an agency, a principal relationship done there between government and organization, the government will become a third party. So, per adventure, if anyone part they go die, and SOS Ghana is a Ghanaian company, then they are going to be subjected to the laws of Ghana.
That is why I asked. That is exactly, you don't answer me next question, as in case of any eventuality.
Well, in case of any
de facto, whose country they take the de facto? Because if you don't bring in a third party into the mix, automatically that third party then are whether responsible, take on the responsibility of his citizens, them becomes the decision maker.
Well, I believe so. The government get an MOU with the SOS Ghana, because we get goods and they were equally up to the tax for the day. But the willpower, my sister, like how you talk, the box stop to the government. If them feel say they not get competent Sierra Leonean for Duam and they believe say the possibility for Comogan are competent for Duam and they don't already make a principal legal advisor and they don't recruit, or I mean for can't stop say no, let them not get the possible. We can and help we still sabi for say no, well, not to so the law say. Then continue, they are governed by their OGCC laws. And until and unless una get a concrete agreement with them, then una give them the right visa. Then if they go pass what they get for repatriate, then come back. So to Mr. Jamboya, myself they part for the people that way they try for help. Me not to trafficker. So I want to on record say I know the traffic, mean a decent Sierra Leonean, but because of the love I get for the country, me small knowledge, what go get in America, I decide for come back home and come for can guide them. Me buku ala not to Sierra Leone government sponsor me. Now the US government sponsor me because me an American citizen. Me one master's cost more than $100,000 before I talk about my PhD. So, but I decided for come home and come for can help. So that. So the sister, we talk about solution. Part of the solution could be the government, like how they get Flora, he look among the and take, we get a chairman of Flora, when Mr. Hakim Bangura, they get the secretary general. These are all competent people who don't travel, go out. Then self can be, or the minister and self can fly come where go Dubai or go Saudi Arabia and find company and come and do direct recruitment, or they find decent job apart from maid. They get boku other skill job they will pick, they will go do, they will able to train them, or the carry president don't go to Mabunti, they will go, they say that they will get plant rest. They can employ the Sierra Leone and the Naya, like one of our brother, they do Solomon Camara of Ford Industrial Mission, where they train skill worker right now for drive their heavy truck and their heavy duty machine. Na Salone, we now need not get for day for let them go pull somebody in a Ghana for car drive truck. Now, brother Solomon Camara, they do that in Naya. They just, Red Cross just get 100 million for train more drivers. So now some of the solution there. We say for they around, if they rely on we, they believe we okay, able to travel, go out and come and help them. But you cannot recruit without the knowledge of the Sierra Leone government. You cannot recruit without having the authorization, whether the government the issuer. So now that's the current situation and that's the current system. So if other caller they can ask if more questions they for ask.
Okay, we lost that caller there, so caller call back. But while we wait for that call, they can read something I asked. So we the title of the article na Decent Work Solution to Slavery says Banda. So I believe say it come out from the leadonline.com. So okay, I go hold the lead because we have a caller. Make I go to the caller. Caller, waiting at your name and who say they call from.
Yes, my name is Esther. They call from New Jersey.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I ask one question. If the question be answered, then I proceed to the next question. What I want to ask, from waiting with the union, they say the people that within the employ, the recruits now mostly people from the north. I just want to let it confirm that one day to me, whether not true or not so it be.
Not so true. The recruitment they go on all over the country. They go to the north, south, east, and west. After they speak to you, they get some people that the eastern part of Sierra Leone, they Hotel 510. They don't do the medical, then they so they train. Done the western part of it, when already seen blue or Mamioko Hotel, some other people that they do and they train them. So the information the post is saying are only not too true. That they recruit from all sides. So you can ask the next question.
Okay, well, yeah. So the other question is not concern, not a question per se. The concern now we don't hear most people the way they may not care go just like we see with Sister Matilda they talk, We don't want any case again wherein they will begin call people then for a GoFundMe, because we get cases then where people picking and they under, girls and they under, and they complain about the ill treatment where then they give them. So then they subject them to even prostitution and so. You know, so the concern where we they raise, now for let things not repeat itself again, because we know say it's stronger for live right now in the country, but let them not use that, let them not use people them, especially when they talk about say they get to pay NRA. Me they feel say now they the cook get for kind side. Me and you as a Leone'S, we know what we they talk. As long as they don't begin say NRA business is inside it, now they get for cook the picking them. Picking and go work the 200. So say at the end of the day, now $200 they will give them monthly. The remaining 200 then will say, oh, they don't use and pay tax, and the other one they don't take and pay tax for the country. So in other words, with the CCA, then they feel said and they help the people. Yes, then they help them in other words. But now then they forget. Now the government get forget. So then therefore make sure they tell the people, the girls then, how much money they get for release, then get for take for tax. People then therefore know how much money then they take for tax. Because if some person don't say they go work 400 at the end of the day, now 200 they don't get for that, go say another go. With all the strain and everything. I'm your contribution, Dandy, for now. Okay.
Well, actually, thank you.
I go ask you, you go respond to Dandy, but because I get a queue of calls, I need for take them, call them. Okay. Call waiting at your name and who say you the call from. Hello, caller.
Okay, my name is Trevor Young. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity to ask questions and the show. I just have a few questions because I'm listening to the gentleman very closely, and he seems to be contradicting himself. So the first question, when he talks about having competent representatives of the government to protect these workers, who represents Sierra Leone in Saudi Arabia? Do we have an embassy in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, we have an ambassador in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, now do you consider ambassador competent based on the criteria you put in place that you said these individuals speaking the language, understanding the laws of the land? Do you consider the ambassador competent?
Oh, well, Section 40 of 1991 Constitution gives the prerogative of the president, the executive president, the democratically elected president, to appoint, hire, and fire.
Yeah.
I am not the president of Sierra Leone.
I'm sorry, sir. Not sorry to cut you off. I like this like straight up questions. You know, based on the criteria that you explained in depth, do you consider the ambassador competent to protect our people in Saudi Arabia?
Well, the ambassador, in my view, and before for them to appoint you to be an ambassador, you have to, it pleases the president to appoint individuals as ambassadors.
We understand all that. We understand the legal understanding.
Okay, I will just,
I cannot answer this question because I am not the one person there.
So the caller, this is not a question that I believe you'll get the answer you're looking for. So I'll advise that you move on to the next question.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have a representative of our government in Kuwait?
Of course, we have an ambassador. We have an embassy in Kuwait. Again, all those representatives of those countries are being appointed by the executive president. I am not the president of Sierra Leone. Neither am I a minister of government. Neither am I working for the Sierra Leone government. So those questions.
But you said that you're competent. You said that you're consultant, and you gave a massive view of qualifications, your degrees, and how much you paid, or the government of the United States for your degrees. So you put forth that you are a qualified person and somebody who people look to you for advice. So that's answer basically say if you're a qualified person, you should be able to answer these questions of your strength. But like Ms. Costa, I'll move on.
My brother. Let me respond to you. The fruit of the pudding is the eating. You can have 10 PhDs, but if you do not please the president, or if it is not please the president to appoint you to go and work, they cannot appoint you. And sovereignty belongs to the people. Sierra Leone is a sovereign nation, and that's why they have frequent and regular election every 5 years. What I'm doing now, I'm doing a pro bono service on behalf of my people, because of what I've gained in the United States. But I'm not working for any government.
Okay.
I've left
so
United States.
Let me ask about your pudding, all right? The proof of your pudding. So do you think you are qualified enough, you, to speak upon the conditions of our people
I'm overqualified because I've worked in those countries. I've not only worked in those countries, I speak Arabic, I know international laws, I know the Middle East law, I know the laws of the United States.
So, if you are overqualified, why are you not able to answer these questions? Why are you deferring the questions if you are overqualified?
Good, because I'm not the president. Neither am I the one appointing those peoples. Those
nobody said you were. Nobody asked you if you were the
president.
Nobody asked you any of those questions. We just wanted you came on as a professional advisor.
Just give me a second, caller. We kind of interrupting the normal flow of our questions. I would say ask all of your questions, and he will write them down, which is what we normally do. He would write them down and answer them when I'm done with the questions. Yeah.
Okay, so this would be my last question. I'm sorry about that. My last question, sir, because of your overqualification experience in Kuwait, would you have a family member take on one of these positions?
Which one of the positions? Which one?
Let's say become a housemaid in Saudi Arabia. Let's talk about that position. Would you have a close family member take on one of those positions, sir? That's my last question. Thank you, Mr. Tony.
I just told you that the mother of my son is in Kuwait as I speak. She works as an engineer. She works as an executive director with Visa 18. And my knowledge of Kuwait is for you not to send anybody with Visa 20. That is why I came to the government straight, advising the minister for them to see reason to change their visas. The minister in turn have told me that they've rectified that, and in fact, the people are not going to Saudi Arabia with the kafala system, which is equivalent to Visa 20 in Kuwait, because Saudi Arabia is dealing with the kafala system. According to the minister, all of the Sierra Leone'S are traveling with Visa 18. So that's my expert advice I've given to them, and they said that's what they're doing. So so
basically, I'm gonna make you write this question down because I want to go to the other callers then. The last question he asked was, would you let your family member work in Kuwait as part of a program such as this as a maid? That was the question. I will move on to the caller. Caller, waiting at your name and who say you the call from. Hello, caller.
Hello, yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, this is
yes, go ahead.
This is my linesman from Toronto. Me don't take what me want to say today. I don't get nothing. No problem with that. I have come to there, but you see, a very simple places than like Canada, where you know if you need middleman or whatever, as long as you graduate or you learn skills, you apply, you go online, not to rocket science. You go online, apply a very easy for get visa and can work as a skilled worker and go back to the country, or if you want to stay, all that means then they will be able to stay. You understand? You company you work for, be able to extend the work permit over and over, where middleman no slavery, Nobody you paycheck, you get you paycheck, and you work. That's how you get you paycheck. You can use self your own pocket. And not to forsake a rocket science. So all you need to do, you go online. The Canadian immigration. You go, you apply. People in the come out Jamaica, then they come out all over the world. Canada is 2 times bigger than America. They only have 37 million people. You know, so they need workman in this country, not to just Arab country no more. Or you get forget agency for how people live, or now people and get for do anything for you. You can go online and apply as a skilled worker. You show your certificate. It's very easy. So now just that many one chipping today, no more.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you they call from.
Hello.
Yes, caller, go ahead. Waiting on your name and also you call from.
My name is James Kamara. They call from Toronto, Canada.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
My name is James Kamara. They call from Toronto, Canada. This man, I don't know his name. I just go online and I see what they talk about immigrant workers in the Middle East. Me don't live in the Middle East for 2 years, and I get my own personal experience. I live in Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, and Egypt. But I get one my cousin wasted in picking on Kuwait in 2017. We made a Salone. I don't know nothing. When we come back to Canada, now after about a month, now my cousin in Peking called me from Kuwait. He said, Uncle, I can't take me now. Can't take me now. I said, also you did. He said, I did Kuwait. I said, what did you go to Kuwait? He said, no, Papa said, I did. I said, what? I said, and I called me brother. Where's that? I called him. I said, but what you make you send this Peking under? The Peking, they call me now, they harass me, they call me 2 o'clock in the morning for go pull and come on a Kuwait. He said that they deal with her so bad, you know, I feel so bad, I call me, bro, text. Now he take the Peking, now he come back in the Salone. Now I'd say me own personal experience what I get in the Arab world. Even me dog, I not go send and go in the Arab world.
So let's get the question now.
The question now is, what to make this man say he train people there for going to the Middle East, but then they go so far? Then they go so far there. Well, I've been in Israel in 1982. 1982, I wrote an article about one Peking in Lebanon where escaped. I wrote an article on the London Times in 1982. Now Israel, I've been in Israel. Me want me party. Unfortunately, they don't die. We wrote an article about that Peking and Amende Peking. He escaped from Lebanon. The way that Peking talk about what they treat them, how they treat them. Things they not change. And they talk so with me how did they burn me? Why did they send with people? We sister them. We Peking and them places they for go suffer. When we don't live there, no, me I not go ever send nobody. Nobody in the Middle East. I don't say for Israel because I don't live in Israel. Israel said that say I remanded look to so that it will cost you way not study you. I remind when they look to so that it will black by the call you all kind them. They not study you. You know? I don't know what to make this big brother how they send with sister the over under man. And in Canada they will get programs for immigrant workers. When people they come, me I come under immigrant visa, under work visa in Canada from Israel. Now work visa count. You know? I count work visa from Israel. So the program they exist. Why not go explore that and see what you go do them? Send with sister and the other one, let them go explore, then they go take them as garbage. You know?
Okay, so thank you very much, Kola. Mr. Sovigo answer the question where they answer the next sets of questions. Then I will go on to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and who say you they call from. Hello, caller.
Yo. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
go ahead. Waiting at your name and who say you they call from.
I call for Philadelphia.
Okay. What you get for we this evening time?
What's in our program right now? I just got it from
Okay,
work.
the name of
Eh?
you been they listen the program or waiting at why you they call? I need to understand why you they call first, then I can answer.
Yeah, but I just got it from work. And I don't believe the program, but right, I got it from work, so I just want call.
Okay. The program na Sierra Leone's labor migration or road once travel.
Worldwide travel? Hello?
Yes, I dey listen.
What's up with the network? The network very poor.
Well, we dey hear you. So waiting you get, waiting are your contribution?
My contribution I continue contribute. So for love we share, we let we set man, you know. Hear me?
Okay. Yes, good contribution.
Yeah, what did you talk about? What did you talk about?
Then you go get for go listen the program later.
Yeah, but I don't care for work, man. You know, I know how to say. I just not call. So you tell me what are you seeing? Eh? Hello?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you know, Mr. Saro. You know, people. Tell me, what do you mean? Tell me.
The program now, Sierra Leone's labor migration, a road once travel. Sierra Leone's labor migration, a road once travel.
Okay. Worldwide travel, okay. So, who's time up to 8 to 9 o'clock Friday, 10 o'clock?
No, I don't know they can't done the program, so viewers, I'm sorry. This is too Okay, caller, you know what in? I hate to do this to you, but I need to let you go for make other caller and give them contribution, please.
What mean you call important to you? What do you mean?
No, it's very important. It's just that you not listen the program for able be a valued contributor. You say we all for like we serve, na Salone we all born, na Salone we all come on, and I say very good contribution. But for the other part, you will get for listen to the program and not go able to repeat all things. So you do your call and a beg and a beg.
Okay. All right, we'll speak here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, caller. What's in your name and who's you call from?
Hello, Hello.
Yes, caller. Go ahead.
My name is Florence Kamara. I call from the States.
Okay, Florence.
I just want to ask the fellow where they do this program, if you be the listen to your program about the ladies them na Kuwait where they go through a lot, even one city where be disappear and you be the try for locate that lady there if you be involved in that situation there. Our Lady's guy answer because he said he didn't quit. And I can fully remember Yo-Yo be they really play a lot of parts and some contribution they get for go online for let help those girls for go back in the salon. Thank you, Miss Matilda.
Okay, so I think we guess they get some internet problems, so they on right now. But when it come back on, I will definitely convey or relay the question to when it log back on. I think don't get until it call from Salone. So sometimes internet na Salone can be challenged. So you say if you've been listening to you question if you've been listening or if you've been take part na the interview where Yo-Yo been do with some of we sister them na Kuwait. Was that the question?
Yes, that's the question because it say if he did na Kuwait and he go school, they know the laws. So where was he when those girls were being molested and all those things? Where was he as a Sierra Leonean at that point?
Okay, so basically, from me, your knowledge, I believe he played a pivotal role in negotiating with the international rescue mission or international rescue committee for bring back the ladies them from Kuwait. I believe he was one of the people who really worked behind the scenes, come out openly, but really worked behind the scenes for really try for get we sister them back na Salone. But I will not speak for him. When he come back, I go make him answer that question there because he gets few other questions then for answer. To we viewers and listeners, you guys have been watching me for a very, very long time now, and I always able to keep me composure no matter what. I put on, my game face, but today the last caller before got the best out of me. I could not hold myself anymore. I really tried, but you know what? I am human. I get every emotions where everybody else they experience, and at some point I just had to let it out. Even at the best and best of TVs then worldwide, something in the way can happen live where the presenters they're not able to hold back themselves. That was just that moment for me just now. If we get any other callers, I will take the callers them while we wait for we guests for come back. So we not get any more callers them na the line. We not get any more callers than at the line. So hopefully, I hope that we guests not get too much problem within connectivity, because definitely this is a situation of connectivity. Even though they get some hiccups back and forth, but whatever the case may be, the program must go on while we wait. I want for read something where comes from the leadonline.com. Now waiting the rights, waiting leadonline.com. Now waiting we hear. So it says, decent solution to slavery, says Banda. It says, former president of Malawi, Dr. Joyce Banda, has recommended a book authored by member of the African Union Labor Migration Advisory Committee, Her Excellency Dr. Princess Kaboki Okanse, titled, Deadly Work or Decent Work. As a publication containing solution to various forms of slavery African youth were subjected to in the Middle East. Okanse, a renowned labor expert with over 30 years experience, is a principal consultant to the Sierra Leone government training thousands of youth in the country to be hired as labor workers in several parts of the world. Banda made the suggestion while presenting the book at the launch of Transfer to Transform project and the launch of Decent Work or Deadly Work at Freetown, Sierra Leone on Tuesday. So basically this new project, this new migration project or laboring migration project, then call them Transfer to Transform. Transfer to Transform. Now then are the project in name. Because then they try for move away from, then they try for move into decent work and move away from deadly work. And I go on to read. The occasion was one of the series of the African Migration Committee events powered by the Journalist International Forum for Migration Nigeria and the Necotech Center for Excellence Ghana. The former president congratulated the president of the country, Julius Maada Bio, describing him as the greatest champion for the rights of women and girls. She said that the president was personally committed to fighting gender-based violence, adding that African women are following your tireless effort in ensuring that women and girls of Sierra Leone are protected and on their behalf. I say thank you. We, the women of Africa, look upon you as one of our greatest champions on this continent in this regard, she said. Reviewing the publication, Banda states, this book touches on a crucial subject very dear to my heart. The subject is the subject of deadly work and the outcry for our daughters from the Middle East has constantly been on my mind. Most importantly, this book offers solution and a roadmap to decent work in the Gulf states. In this book, Dr. Okanse makes an urgent call for a multilateral platform for the African Middle East migration process, much like the Colombo process, the Abu Dhabi dialogue within Asia and the Middle East, to guide our nations to make a paradigm shift to decent work. Our championing SOS, decent work, is in line with the SGDs. For the people that we don't know what the SGDs mean, it mean waiting at the SGD safe, Sustainable Development Goals. Sorry, the SGD are the Sustainable Development Goals. So it's saying our championing SOS decent work is in line with the SGDs, so the Sustainable Development Goals 1, 5, and 8, as well as the EU Agenda for 2063 to create the Africa we all want. I am pleased to be part of this launch as a guest of honor of the SOS Decent Work Program in Sierra Leone. The event had in attendance Mohamed Soare, Minister of Information and Communications, Sierra Leone, who represented President Bio, chairman of the occasion, and Minister of Labor and Social Security, Alpha Otimbo, Minister of State of Labor and Employment, Nigerian Chief Festus Kiyamo, San Professor Joseph Tie from the University of Ghana, and others. At the event, President Bio, Banda, Okanse Timbo, and were conferred with the African Presidential Migration Champion, African Stateswoman, Decent Work, Legendary Decent Work Service, and whatnot. Okay, these are not important to us. So, but basically, just want to say the program has been officially launched. So, the boat has sailed. What we now have to do is to curtail the ills that we know of. But I want for left Mr. Sovimeki answer the rest of the question then quickly, even as we wrap up. But while you were away, another caller asked the question. They said, were you aware of the interviews and the efforts done by Yo-Yo, a person by the name of Yo-Yo, to help bring back or to throw light about the sufferings of our sisters in Kuwait 2 years ago?
Yes, well, I can start with that. Yo-Yo Network, I know Yo-Yo personally, and Yo-Yo interviewed me. I'm aware, and now we this way champion for the repatriate them picking they come, because in the first instance, as I say, they recruit them on the wrong visa, and they go illegally in Kuwait without the notice of the government, the previous government. And Dr. Anes Kroma, former president of Sierra Leone, we don't slam a moratorium. They we don't ban made as at 2014. Where we say APC government, we don't put a stop to that. And that ban be not in effect up to 2019, where the SLPP-led administration of Dr. Timbo, they said we don't put the ban up until the 3rd of April 2021, where they don't lift the ban for start this decent migration process, where they led by the principal legal advisor and immigration consultant, Dr. Okanzi, and an SOS Ghana team. So for answer that question, yes, I will know, I will take part, because I will not say visa 20, now a degrading and humiliating visa. That will be part of my recommendation to the government. I will say, in fact, let us send people to Kuwait with visa 18, because visa 18 now the regular prescribed visa where they for Kuwait. Then if you go Saudi Arabia, where they deal with the kafala system, let them care and go on the regular employment visa. So I can stop so far with that question. For the other question, for the Canadian caller, Mr. James Kamara, where they talk about Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, Mr. don't go to all them countries that they are telling for a contribution. But unlike what they talk where they say, what to make now brother want send people there. Mr. Kamara, not only the recruiter, now the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Labor, Social Security and Industrial Relations with SOS that they recruit them picking out for go Saudi. Major scam and they try for guide and tell them what me small knowledge what I know about them country that they like what yourself know. So if like what you Canada, so you get program for legal migration where we will help the picking there. You can send that to government and the cable user for let them go Canada. So to other next question, to other brother where they say the qualification of visas move to Kuwait as part of the made. Well, for the one they ask me, say if I get people that are Kuwait, yes, I get a family that are Kuwait, but they Kuwait on visa 18. They know they Kuwait on visa 20. And I don't live Kuwait, I get a Kuwaiti resident as I speak, but my visa I get the visa number 18 because I don't live and work Kuwait as an expatriate. So my advice to government and anybody where they send somebody in the Middle East, Kuwait is a fine country, only that if you find yourself with the wrong visa, then you forget yourself for blame. Just like in the United States, as I speak, they get people that are there Florida and the other side where they work as domestic worker, or they go pick them up when the other thing. But international migration states say anybody who want to go to any of them for do within the confines of the laws, the country they come out and the country they go. And let our government make sure say the Canada don't talk say that they monitor and they go to the people then say let them channel, let them make sure say they do that so that because they were already as they talking, I will tell them they so tell first back will let for go as early as next month or next week. So now that's making say. But the minister don't actually say the visa order they go with, and Dr. Okansi self don't initiate say well now safe like our sister already not the already part the meeting, the president represent the representative and all minister then they That you not I think that the government are aware about them. And the difference between this one and the other one, that at the previous recruitment, them governments not be they know about them. The illegal recruitment they take place not to through government. But this one save small, now this one go through government. And that make beaucoup people as he say, if you go to labor as I speak, labor jam packed with girl picking there, or that they try for do medical, or that they try for get space for go. So we other caller to Mr. To other caller we talk about qualifications. My brother, now Section 40 of the Constitution give the president right for appoint Uda one appoint. So me no go there for can't talk say for voucher if I believe the person the ambassador with the Saudi Arabia and a gentleman I know say qualified, but me no go there for vouch because one not to me the appoint, two I not get that mandate there because not to me a president or not to me a minister. So I not go able to answer that question there. To government you go channel land for qualification of ambassadors. Now the president you get for suit and you get for satisfied or they appoint you. So which other question back with me, sister? I want to answer it.
So that's it. Me get a question. Why make the okay? So there are two things where I get for sure confirm about this process. One, I already say they not they recruit people. Them if you get body small number, they not they recruit you. And then secondly, I already say and you self don't confirm, and I also say the picking them or the supposed recruitee, then they go under physical training. Why do they need to go under physical training? They are not going in a combat zone. They are not going to do manual labor. Why do they need physical training or strength training? Okay, look like for say Dr. Sovi don't freeze small. But while Dr. Sovi don't freeze, because I wrap up with the wrap up, so when you come back, I go ask and then two questions. There I go. I just ask with technical team, make it post some video of okay. You don't come back.
So sorry, the phone they go off and on. My phone that they use now just for keep up the and they go off and on. So go ahead, man. So what's the question?
So one question there. The first question is, and I go make you know, I go make you finish this part, and I go ask you. The first question is, why make then they do physical training where they're not they go combat zone, they're not they go do manual labor and whatnot? Why do they have to do physical training in the morning? Why are they putting them through such exercise? Now work, nani work, cleaning work or whatever, and they go for go do. Why they go do wake them in the morning for go do physical training and jogging and exercise and all of that one? They done in a one. The second one is that I hear that there has been a discrimination on body size. That if anybody will go their way fat, if you fat too much no more, they know they recruit you. You know they cut, make the cut. Then another thing, and I don't hear this from a couple of people that will go take part in the program, but they were turned around based on their weight. I hope that is not happening because that will be discrimination, pure discrimination. And we get one last call. I will take this caller as Bonya. Really, my time was fast spent, but because I don't sit down at the line, I will take this call as Bonya, and that will be my last call for tonight. Caller, waiting on your name and who say the call from?
Hello, viewers. Hello, Matilda. This is my Frederick Terry Kamal. Myself na lawyer na Salone, and Tovi na my colleague na World Masters na Northeastern University.
Okay, what do you get for we this evening, Tim?
Well, first of all, I just want to know, because Sovi know me, and I should say not go lie to the public, because, you know, I know I'm very well, you know me, and I just, one of the questions they will ask, I just want to ask and say, any benefits there were with people and they gain from going to the Arab world, we always, all the things that they come back, and a negative effect. You know, people and they cry, people and they talk about how they hardship in that country. So why would they continue for the same people and for let them go suffer? You know, because even my sister was called me and asked for help and for go Kuwait. I know what he go through na Kuwait. For let he come back na the country, they end up all in passport na hand. Now God help him back, they come alive. You know, so me question when me they ask now this, what will they gain out of for tell people and for lie to them? Say where you go, you get benefits, you get things the way you can able help your own country. At the end of the day, nobody not get any positive result where they talk about saying that this are good game. At the end of the day, they all not suffer, then they go suffer. You know, and so me they ask him, you know what thing they talk? Now my colleague, we all then at Boston, we all do masters together and everything. If you're not good, you're not good. If you're not good, Lord, just stop them. Lord, not continue. Follow people in the suffer or they give them the false impression. You know, so I don't say Sophie they watch me. I don't say they smile, but honestly, Sophie know me very well. Why go Boston for go to my masters and lodge me? Not so bad person, no. But what to me they say, nothing not the way positive. Where people don't go Kuwait, where they say, oh, now this is hardship. All the hardship, all over the world, not so just Kuwait. All the Arab world, people just suffer. If you take a look at the latest crime where people in the show, where people they repatriate and come back in a Salone, nothing no day. We not say yes, Salone difficult. But no, not give the people in the false impression, say, where you going that you like it better. If you tell a person, they say, nah, suffer, they go suffer, let it prepare for that. But you need to tell them, say, where you going there, you go get all the best in the world, you know. So, me, honestly, I'm not thinking that the best solution for we the Sierra Leonean thing. You know, I always think, say, let we make Sierra Leone better for we self. You know, we will blame the politicians. And one of the things that we always fail to realize, where SLPP can't power, they blame APC. Where APC can't power, they blame SLPP. But they all get for share the blame. Now, they all not make Salone on their ideas today. Anybody where they afraid for talk the truth, you know, we all can always say, then go and call karma. What goes around comes around. Then two parties are going to share the blame. Not left unto one person. You know, so we out maybe in the United States of America, if you're not possible true to himself, it will tell you how he did it. It will tell you how he come out Kuwait, take inside America. Not everybody fortunate for go through that way. If you're fortunate, let we left for the lie to people. I'm not telling the truth. It better let you tell the people the truth that you lie to them. It do in good faith, which I don't know. It do maybe say one get your own benefit. Now, my friend, if I tell you say it's nice to me, I like you. Now you shelter me, now help me, say I do me master.
Okay, so me producer just tell me say one last bonya, please. Me time done way past. One last bonya. I not been careful can do 3 hours show. Please, one last bonya. That's it. Call her waiting your name and who say they call from.
Yeah, I call for Philadelphia. I asked that guy. Wait, say he learn Arabic. Now the program Ripper.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, which school are guy? Which Arabic school are guy go?
I go back to school, sir.
Most of them
So what's the question?
I go back to school. I read Arabic. I read Arabic. Which school you go na which Arabic school you go?
I go.
So what's the
question?
You know, chef? You know, Imam?
Because you question, I don't go through several universities in the world. So, I don't go to Salone. I don't go to Kuwait. Iraq,
Which school go to Arabic? Maboka or
Okay. Caller, waiting at the relevance of the people to the question.
Listen, me, not talk to a guy, boo. I want to know because the talk about if they go to Arabic school, so I want to know.
Okay, they will give me number. They will give me number. They will give me number after the interview. We go talk.
I want to know, boo. I want to.
Okay, so if the panelists, if the guests no one for talk or disclose who school where you go, and nothing say as a caller you get the right for put them under duress for say pauper pass it tell you who school where you go. So if you get a question, I go say make you ask the question outside of who school where you go.
Now the question I ask you, what do you mean? I ask the question, which Arabic school you go? Because you don't say go Arabic school. I go Arabic school. I go Islamic primary school. I go secondary school. I go to So I know because when you talk, I know I don't trust I say go to Arabic school. What do you mean? So many tell me who school they go. You go Maboka.
Okay, caller. Thank you very much for your question. If the guest will answer that question,
why you just cut off me? Okay, caller. Let me talk to you guys. Come on, man. You can't do that.
No. Because you term don't pass. Like you get time where they ask a question and that time they don't come and it don't pass. So I can't keep the all online for us the same question. So it's up to the discretion of the guest. If the guest want for us answer that question, they then go answer the question.
Answer me. If you don't, if you say me no answer me, no problem. But but why you always you talk before the guy? The guy now go talk to me. Why now go talk to me? Why cut me off?
Because
I go answer you. Answer that question.
This mean at the moderator.
Forget about that woman. Answer me.
Answer that question.
Okay, so the show is being derailed and I don't want it to turn into what it's seemingly turning to. Thank you very much, caller, for your question. If the guest feels so at ease for answer your question, then go answer your question. But thank you very, very much for your call. Mr. Sovi, I want to make you answer the last two questions then way I ask you, and then I want to close the program because we are way over our allotted time.
I tell you, thank you. And straight to my brother, when I'm the lawyer, Fred Say Kamal, when I'm your own brother and personal friend. Fred no say, I send his sister, I will not go disclose the name of Kuwait with visa 18. In one of the fortunate people that will go Kuwait with visa 18, and not go Kuwait as housemaid, and go with a decent job where it decide. In fact, in chambers, we go meet them and show the visa where it not be believed. Fred insisted, and I be my colleague, maybe they work in a public PRSU by then, and it be reach a time because he come on Holland and come and say he want travel. I be tell and say I will able to make it go to Kuwait, and I be able to do that for him because of where he go Kuwait. He left there, he get somebody today in the United States of America. So insist not go Kuwait with visa 20. His sister go Kuwait with visa 18. But the issue with Safi Hotel, it reached a time where his sister Kuwait na an Arab country and it prohibited for cargo alcohol na the hotel. It be reached a time where his sister be make party together with other Sierra Leoneans there, where we end up for let the hotel bring police na the hotel and where they be get for do so suspension. So now that be make in sister be get problem na Kuwait where we end up for return Sierra Leone and go back, end up for relocate to the United States. So in sister and all the other one they was sent Kuwait, go Kuwait with visa 18. As I speak, 75% of the still lady, they work in different higher jobs, and they not go with visa 20 when a housemaid job. But for confidentiality and for the respect of the sister, I'm not going to call the name. And me, like a professional recruiter, I can stop at that. And so your other question, we actually say the body size of discrimination. Yeah, well, the doctor, when I principal immigration consultant for migration consultant for Sierra Leone now, in our wisdom, she say, yeah, some of them they be overweight. Like all international recruitment, especially the Middle East, they get the standard, they get the benchmarks. Just like when you go to the military, they get the age, they get the weight, and they get the height. So all international recruitment can get that. So the doctor, for letting not discriminate against the so-called people that we becoming not called the fat, the people that will overweight, they get the status weight whether they check for if you overweight. So now that make it decide, say, well, let them do some physical exercise, whether they conduct and then at the hotel, when they see that they go gym, that they exercise. And to lo and behold, some people then body don't count down, and some will go through the medical process will not be past some of the medical they ask them for take some treatment and redo the medical. So the process ongoing. They get the various sickness, the sickness that they check for, and they want the pass. They go through the process, not just like any recruitment process. So, but then get your benchmarks where the woman say the company in Saudi Arabia they look for, and if you body mass pass that particular weight day, or you not get that particular height, or if you not get that basic education, because the first way we eliminate people there, they say for able to read and write. So most of the people that will fail the first part, so not some people apply stay yes, they stop worse. Some say that they college, they give their book for read, so not able to read, they give their sign for sign, so not able to sign. So that will make them eliminate some. So now that make the physical aspects come. So which other question again, if I don't?
So that was it actually. You've answered it. I'm like, I hear that there's been discrimination based on body size, and then why then they go through physical activities. The last question what I want to ask you before I read this, are you aware of the 22 Sierra Leoneans in prison in Guinea?
Yes, we are, and are they in contact with the Vice President of Human Rights Commission, when I'm your classmate, when I'm lawyer Victor Lansana, and they about for good day, in fact, in don't contact the current Vice President. But the big problem we get, me just the doing out of is me not to member of government, me not to now just me small book I go Sabina America, I can't try for help. So like some people the other case me say they say this is American man. I said no, well, would they are there an Australian nationals then? If they did the language na Guinea under the pretext of
I want to make the technical team put up the pictures of them, some of them, but so this is just a cross section of them, because even as we speak, they don't divide them. They're all not in at the same sign, at the same prison anymore. There are 22 of them. Some of them, some of them, Boboya, so been they stay in Calabaton. Some of them na Brookfields. The others, then na Rokup. Then they stay. Then been there. They left Sierra Leone on the 5th of October 2020. They were heading to Niger for greener pastures, Niger Niamey, for greener pastures, when they were intercepted by the Guinean military, thinking them to be, mercenaries sent by the Sierra Leone to disrupt their election. They had over $8,000 with them. Those $8,000 have disappeared. It was taken away from them, and then they were thrown into prison. For security's sake, I don't want to read their name. I get all of their full name and ages them and whatnot. Right now, I think they've been spread out between 2 or 3 different prisons. Them, na Guinea. But now some of them thing there, so we want to talk about the risk the risk, but at the same time, if we systems them in better in a Salone, then but they are so not been for fend themselves outside and they. It's been too long since October. There is no reason why the Sierra Leone government nor for don't negotiate with the Guinean government for make sure say them boy so be taken out of prison and brought back home. They have no criminal records, no ammunitions were found on them, nothing was found on them except the money and then clothes, where then they try for go make life better for themselves. I go let you make you continue on the story.
Well, I tell you, thank you, my sister. Guinea, like Sierra Leone, is sovereign states, is sovereign nation. And if they get reasonable suspicion for all somebody a part of any coup or any attempt, we all see the waiting lead for let them lock. In fact, we make reach Sierra Leone, the Guinea and Liberia border all be locked. And because of some political or some diplomatic issue, where they don't try for resolve. But then few one that they did sell, we go try tooth and nail. Are they in touch with the Minister of Information? And
there are 22 of them. Let me just be clear. There are 22 of them. And we want all 2 of them back to recoup and feel suicide and come out.
We go try for talk to the Human Rights Commission. And as I say, me not to government at the work. Me not just one Sierra Leone out of the 7 million or more people where they try for help in the whole way. So we go try also what to go able to do for let they able left them. But the government, they get diplomacy where they go able the president conduct thank God they don't carry 1 or 2 10 now. President Biosef we don't go Guinea. So I believe that they go able to handle diplomatically. And to other question where somebody they say, Lord try for be truthful to them pick here and blame game. And Mr. Asari Kamal, if you be the listen me, I'll tell you from the genesis of outside overseas recruitment starts. It starts as at 2005 during the race of President Kaba. And me just that one fortunate Sierra Leone will be able to go now batch, go to Iri support services when ESS, Ukomoya on the 10th of February 2005 and go Iraq. And Sierra Leone don't get boku program for go overseas. They got then the OG's program when I receive through Symphony, they get the Saba, they get the First Quality, and they get the KBR program, and this other one we don't come where they don't get a consultancy for do. And all what I say to the people then, the Ministry of Labor, Social Security and Industrial Relations get a labor policy. And as an expert in labor policy on international law and policy, and they get Pillar 5 and Pillar 6 of the agenda for change and the agenda for prosperity. Wait till you say, now part of them thing that they say, government for provide decent job for its citizen. So may your advice and may your word work give the government, let themselves go and look for better jobs other than made. Boku job in the Middle East, so people they will go do. Other jobs and they will like me not send people they as made. Me send people they as decent workers. And when they go, they be get 4 square meal, they did a hotel, they get visa, nobody not sees them passport. But Kuwait is not a law country. If you go there, you get birthday, you can go Rome at the place, and a Muslim country where they Kuwait doing fast months. I know they drink water in the streets. Me a Christian. Now Friday they go church. So Lord in the country. So if you go, you celebrate birthday, so you can go Rome at the place. They get for see man and woman they bokun at the place. The hotel be get right for call police. So that be make them be insist in passport, where they be able to send them back. So to the other people then, we go try for split with government in the way Usabi will help. But you know, now the government now getting last thing. We can talk all the English to tell them. They left to the government for take the issue. The minister thank God a listening minister and Edo talk say they don't get an MOU with the people there and then go follow through. And Dr. Okansi himself through in book we don't put from dangerous to safe and good migration to the Middle East. Because it gave vast experience, it don't work in the Philippines, it don't do recruitment for Canada, it don't recruit for Africa Union. I go pray say I go find time for letting self candidate. So himself will able to answer most of their questions there. Because
she is always welcome, same time, same place, every Friday. She just needs to give me the okay. I mean, they expect them for come today, but since you're not able to make them other demands, that's fine. But she's always welcome to come here and talk to the people, the Sierra Leonean people, give them that form of assurance, say, we are not going to see a repeat of a road traveled.
Yes, I believe say he go do that. And like the one that already Oman we fall under the Royal Decree number 35 of 2006 of the Oman Labor Law. I believe say the embassy in the UAE they cover the inside then they or the embassy in Kuwait. So the government, let's say go they send because not to Kuwait no more the people they complain that they Oman. But like they say, you need master sabi people that will understand the various labor laws of their country because like when you talk about the WASTA system within Kuwait different from the kafala system within UAE, Saudi. When you talk about the laws of UAE, within United Arab Emirates, different from the laws of Muscat, within Oman. When you talk of the laws of Bahrain, different. And all GCC countries get laws for made. So the better if Sierra Leone go copy like what Philippines the way they don't stop for send mates at Kuwait. Now they send nurses, they send doctors, then it will be better for we. So if more question there, like he asks, or if question all day, I'm more than willing for Canada show at any time, at any day for can give me your small master sabi input to know. But for the listeners and viewers, I want to know say me Patrick Sovi not ever send anybody for go any sign of the world for go work housemaid and another part for send anybody for go work as housemaid. At my own company and with my own recruitment to have they do now with visa 18 way falls in line with international labor laws, international labor standards. So I can stop there and take more questions or listen to you, madam.
So Dr. Sovi, thank you very much. The one thing where I want to make you promise the listeners then I also is that you would work ardently for make sure say Dr. Okanse Sidona this table here so with me for really talk to the Sierra Leone because as this thing they unfold, remember the official numbers will be come out now be 1,000. Now yeah, so you don't can clarify say not a 1,000 now 4,500. That is a game changer, and that is a game changer. To the minister, I welcome you coming here, sitting here with me at any time. Fridays, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 10 to 9 p.m. at most 9:30. We will be done and over with. You all owe it to the Sierra Leonean people, not to the one they know on a tongue or whatever they engage with. These people have people overseas who are anxious, who are worried, who don't know all of the detail. For me, again, I say, is it worth sending our Sierra Leonean sisters? I know say, labor migration, they all over the world and whatnot. It's a common practice. It's a this Canada, they recruit Nani, they recruit. But some countries are better than others. Some countries are way better than others in terms of because they get structures them in place where they protect the workers and where they protect the employers. So they protect the employee and the employers. In most of these Arab countries or Arab nations, I'm sorry to say, I don't know that is the case. And that is why we are very apprehensive of our brothers and sisters going out there to work $400 a month. Out of that $400, they then get for pay NASIT. Out of that $400, they then get for pay taxes now the host country. Waiting at the change we get for left for them. When at $10 an hour, then they make. That is the question. But at the end of the day, you will not stop people to do what they want to do. We all have free will. We can talk Nayaso, we can beat, we can drum up and whatever. At the end of the day, the decision is left to the individuals. I know sometimes when you are pushed, your back is pushed against the wall, it's hard for you. and you fail that is your ultimate, that is the only thing you're left with. So therefore you run and grab it and say, you know what, this wire so better pass nothing, so make a take them. But in the situation of this wire so better pass nothing, so make a take them, I hope the government will do due diligence to make sure cover to cover, post to post, pole to pole, country to country, wall to wall, continent to continent, that its citizens are protected throughout in all of this. Dr. Sophia, I want to tell you thank you for where you agree for coming at the platform today, and for take on this discussion with me. And like I said, my doors are always open. Dr. Okansi, you are welcome at any time. My doors are open to the minister. You're also welcome at any time. As well as Dr. Sophia, you're also welcome at any time to sit here. Let's highlight this issue. Let's have a frank conversation and discussion about them. To the caller, to the audience, again, sorry for, today I broke down. But again, like I said, I'm human. Blood runs through me and flows through my vein like each and every one of you. I can put on my game face as much as I can, but like I say, even the best of the best in the world doing this, sometimes there's something that happened that cracks them down right in the middle of a broadcast. That was my moment today. But like I can always say, may God bless you all. May God continue for guide. We always will defend at this world. May God protect we and make we able get them. Corona is real. Corona they kill. Una continue for protect una self. Una continue for wash una hand. Una continue for observe una social distancing. And I want to say boku thank you to we guests today. Until we meet again, una tata.
Well, before we go tell the people that thank you. Me all last word that the knowledge I get, the people that they go on the banking system, and like all GCC countries, who reach Kuwait them pay we. Now some of who reach Salone, we decide for can assets, and incumbent say the for paying an asset because according to the doctor, the OP account for the beginning in Kuwait, and the minister said, "Oh, we said they go OP account for the Kuwait, and they will pay them the $400 with the part of the contract." And the other thing again, I know for, I understand, say the pikin they get insurance, and they get wage and leave allowance, and they also get, and because unlike the other recruitment, we fall in line with contravene Article 3 of the labor laws of the Royal Decree 34 and 37, now Kuwait and Oman. First time when you work as housemaid, you not get time for rest. They work on early. Now, with this program and with the MOURC, the government makes sure say they get 8 hours, and they get time for overtime, and they get time for rest. They get vacation time, and the tickets will be cost free and fair. The government, they provide the ticket for them for go work, way different from the other previous recruitment where I refer to as human trafficking. And all that.
So I don't want to drag the show, but with all of what you don't mention, so this begs me to question: are their salary really $400?
Well,
I will left handed.
What do you see in a paper? Now let me see the salary. Let me see as per the contract. Now $400. Whether I get for go up or whether I get for go down, that is subject to amendment or is subject to debate. So because of time, we will get. If you want to come back or next week, we can able to host this program because I like for informing people, then educate them and let them know the different set of visa. If somebody tell you say they go wait, I will give me number of the email to the modulator. They can able send the visa them, we can able interpret or look them, and I can able tell the person say this is visa 20 or this is visa 18. If na visa 18, the person can go because he's free. As they talk, they are born for me today. They work peacefully and they call at any time. Men, they work and a happy inside day and another under direct or under slavery. But the under go visa 20 will not go through government, will not get labor card, we use what they call temple run. Now most of them go get their problem there. And we abscond a Kuwait the crime under the Kuwaiti law. Some run away go to there with Sierra Leone brother there. We do on visa 18. So what you get for respect? You go to the house, man, not to a man. On a 2 days they do my men like the business. We policeman meets there now they arrest them. So now most of them they go on Facebook and they Allah. And the other hand they would be arrested, they end up in a cell. Like when that say yes, they be put on in a cell because Kuwait is a law country. If they meet you first month, you know to married woman, you know to married man, now they together and they do my men that do business. The laws of Kuwait can bet you. So
yeah, the laws of Kuwait can bet you in, but enough for bet you to the point where then they go to away hot oil per you and hot water per you. That is
well, okay. Well, the hot oil and the hot now the one okay that part of the inhumane.
No, we go down the talk because we are far. Let's just wrap up because I don't want to open another can.
And no prison order in Kuwait where they throw oil and hot water per you. Now, what it happen? Most of as they say, if you not go through government, you go through Guinea or you go through Liberia. When you reach Kuwait, they seize your passport. If you want the Sierra Leone passport, you watch at the back, now government property, it is not transferable, now government documents. So when you reach, if you go through legal migration process, so we go Kuwait in 2006, all my passport, because not be get embassy there, I say I know they give the passport because I go as team leader, we hand over the passport to the British embassy because we are members and part of the Commonwealth of Nations. I talk to the ambassador, and through me, knowledge I get international law, they able to register with all because we go doing 10th time. But because of time, I can stop there. I tell a good night, and I tell all the callers and listeners, thank you. Yourself, I tell you plenty, thank you. They bring out the program here. Lord continue for educate and entertain with people there because information is knowledge, knowledge is power, and power belongs to the people. So I greet you now, and God bless. Good night. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Sylvie. Like I say, that $400 question, I'm a questioner and I got my reasons why I'm questioning that. On paper, 400, but is it actually $400 that these people are supposed to be getting? We have to dig into that. The truth will come out. You know, Salone man, you'll fool them a little bit, but when they see inside, and go can talk. Eh? And we go can talk. But anyways, make we left and so today. We get Boku still for talk of this migration. We the left and so today, and are they say fambulem unatata.
All right. Thank you so much.